SWAT box, what are you doing here? This is a combat zone. It's restricted. Ease off on your main thruster and head over to patreon.com/SWOCBC for episodes of our all-new series, Inside the Insider, where the gang explores articles from every single issue of the official Star Wars Insider fan magazine in order and get an even closer look at how Star Wars and its fandom have evolved over the years. New episodes with each public upload months earlier for patrons. Red 24, Red 30, follow me to patreon.com/SWOCBC for the latest episode of SWAT Box. Inside the Insider today. In target range. It's ahead. All ships jump to light speed.
The Star Wars Old Canon Book Club is made possible by contributions on Patreon. Head to patreon.com/SWOCBC for ad-free episodes, reading guides, movie and TV episode audio watch-alongs, and more. Today's Old Canon fact of the day comes from Star Wars, the new essential guide to weapons and technology by W. Hayden Blackman, first published in 2004. Carbanti United Electronics is a prime example of the value of specialization. Rather than trying to compete in all fields of electronics, Carbanti has focused almost exclusively on manufacturing sensor systems. Carbanti has ensured that its products are used in nearly every starship across the galaxy by working closely with Carillion Engineering Corporation and other top vehicle designers. Today's selection is Star Wars: The Original Marvel Years, Volume 5 by Marvel Comics, and whose final installment was first published on July 17th, 1984. Enjoy the show, and may the Force be with you, always.
Bochuda, my Rizzlers.
Uta puta.
How are you guys doing? Welcome back to SWOCBC. After a brief absence, we are back. After a little break.
Busy summer.
Busy summer.
Actually, I should probably put the microphone somewhere near my face.
I want to be honest.
Shout at it. And
Busy summer, guys.
busy summer.
It's a throwback to the old way that I just never grew up using mics like this.
I think about how when I started doing YouTube, like we used the Yeti microphone.
The little snowball thing?
Yeah. And we would sit around it and everybody would talk into it. That is like crazy to me.
Kind of a communal moment.
Yeah,
Do you remember those like the little like vertical oriented cameras that were like popular for like
100%.
early day? What was this called?
I don't know. Couldn't they like fold in half or something?
No, they were just like you held it and took it was like 2010.
I
they
remember
were like,
it was like right before the GoPro.
a lot of people just use that shit as like the video that you then upload to.
Yeah, I totally remember. But I just don't remember the name.
Another time, another place.
Guys, speaking of which, we're in the old canon of Star Wars. It's
true.
And we're back on Marvel Comics. This is the Original Marvel Years Volume 5. This one contains an annual in addition to normal Star Wars issues, and it contains the 4-issue like separate series of Return of the Jedi.
Can I ask you guys some? You know comics way more than me.
Sure.
First off, one, is there a massive time jump in the release of these? Because I feel like we start in 77 and we end in 83 or beyond that.
Yeah, it's like a monthly comic, right? So,
But like 77 to 83, I'm talking like
The-
this
well, we're in the
episode.
issues. We're in issue. Okay, so look at
It has the. Let me see. It has on the.
So this is from 83, and Return of the Jedi came out.
So all of these are 83 still.
Everything that we read here is 83.
Yeah.
August
Okay.
83
All right.
to November.
Well then,
Yeah.
here's my next question, which I guess.
Oh no, actually, what? Some of these are 1984. How?
Yeah, because it's monthly. So it starts in August of 83 and ends in October of 84.
Oh, actually, that makes sense.
And it's issue 74 to 88. It's 16
Okay,
issues.
so then this changes. Second question, still second question.
when did the movie come out?
1982? 1980?
No.
I think 83 was
83.
Yeah,
I think-
83.
Right, no, specifically when? Because I'm looking at this and I have
May?
notes about there's like an issue that gets pushed back, and then when we return to it, all of a sudden Luke's in his Jedi outfit. And
I think it's May
Well-
83 or December. It's either May or December. That's the only time they release Star Wars.
Another thing that's interesting is that issue 76 is like the third issue. right? That is also when Return of the Jedi #1 comes out, right? So if you imagine Return of the Jedi #4 ends in January of 84, right?
Oh, and that's why. Okay, so the February 1984, then it goes to the Jedi stuff. So it's like that would be when it picks up.
Yeah,
Going forward.
I think there's like I think they just kind of like because 79 comes out like in January of 84, right? So before Return of the Jedi, it's like Return of the Jedi ends the same time as the big con comes out.
Yeah, with Ellie, it's like the Bothan plans. Like it does tee up going into.
So my follow-up question then is the fact that this is a I thought because time in my mind for some reason I thought the first couple ones that we're looking at were in the 70s still.
Yeah.
They're not.
Dude, they feel
70s.
So much of this feels 70s, and then it's like actually adults.
Right, and what's crazy is that then this is why I thought there was a time difference in when these came out, because some of the art, again, the first couple issues does not look like the next couple. And then there's some where it's back-to-back issues where it's like, oh, that looks like Luke. And the next one's like, who is this blonde-haired, gorgeous model man? There's so many.
I took
It's
so many
crazy.
pictures of like literally like 5 panels in a row. Luke looks different in every single one. The art style, but like if you look at the pencilers or something, like they're the same person. I don't know if it's time or.
I think some of it's not the same people. Like between the annual, for example, and the normal Star Wars.
But you're saying that some of them were coming out at the same time, like Return of the Jedi and the Star Wars comics. There's different artists,
but even within issues, because the other thing is, if you think about this in context, if you're reading comic books at this time, right? You're reading the Marvel comics, you're reading X-Men, you're reading Hulk, you're reading all this
there's
other
kind
shit.
of pooling people from different stuff.
Yeah, it's like the Star Wars comic is selling like gangbusters, and so it's the A team from like everything. But because so much fucking Star Wars shit's coming out at once right now, even between pages, you're getting different artists.
It just feels like
Yeah.
the last ones we read, the previous Star Wars comics, while they looked very 70s and not like Star Wars really, at least the art had a consistency to it, kind of.
Yeah, I was gonna.
This is kind of all over the place.
I was gonna say, like, coming back from the last one, which was the newspaper strips, like, converted into comics, like these felt so much more, big. Like they take their time with the storytelling in a way that I haven't been used to from like the last 2 episodes that we've done. And so even though these stories are like, maybe not the greatest stories, like there's just the pacing of it between panel to panel. You're like, oh shit, this is like breathing a lot more. So I feel like them breaking it down by artist, it makes a lot more sense here, because they're just like, okay, well, who's going to do this Hoth sequence? And that sequence is like 4 pages rather than that it's like,
I can't wait till we get to the Hoth one.
Like
I want to talk about that so badly.
Like a daily comic, right?
Boy, dude, there's some.
The first couple ones
there's a
are
bunch
rough.
of like, they do. I think that was the problem, is I got used to the pacing of the other stuff. So even though it was absurd, it got through it. A couple of these issues, I was like, my people in whatever you believe in, like
there's some like
this is like
stuff
so
going on.
you guys went so hard on a nothing burger of it, but because towards the end it like gets a little bit like the hype of the Jedi. I wonder if it's kind of like
you're back with the
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something first season, where they're like, the next movie's about to come out. We can't really do much, and then that like launches the excitement. The tone even switches up. Like the first Jedi one, when we get there, the Ellie one is like, the reading level, the like seriousness of it.
It's because it's the real Star Wars team back on the Star Wars book. Like that's kind of what I'm saying, is like these main series Star Wars issues that we're reading, right?
So you're telling me 3 arc about mermaids is not.
It looks good.
The main Star Wars team.
It looks good. I think that one.
I think that one's stuff.
That's like
aside, like there's some whatever. It's like the Shantus of the stars, like those ones where I'm like,
yeah,
I have to read this, but it's
I'm
already a slow reader, and it's
the Iscalon Effect
me to get through this shit.
The Iscalon Effect I thought was pretty cohesive, but then like
it's cohesive. I thought it was boring,
but it's like not the
goes
greatest.
together, but it's like
not the greatest story, but I just feel like once the Return of the Jedi starts, you're like, oh, they went over there and there, because this is going to sell as a graphic novel. This is going to sell like 10 times more than the normal Star Wars comic, because it's the Return of the Jedi. So like this one, everybody is putting their time, and you can look at the fucking panels are like fucking cinema. It's like beautiful. The little fucking squares on the intro page of every single one is so beautiful. Like the art is just on another
This first
level.
arc just feels like not Star Wars, but Battlestar Galactica.
Sure. But I'm just saying, once we get done with Return of the Jedi, then we're like back at the races with everybody who's supposed to be writing Star Wars back on the main book, going full tilt again, with the story that they were planning. And
This, if we read this differently, or if we read each issue as it came out, I think like it wouldn't be such an intense shift. But because we like read the last ones and that like they leveled up while they were writing that
quality
to
is
be
so
like
much better,
better, quicker, and tie in and have like higher stakes, so that to jump back to the Iscalon Effect is like, oh, but if we read the issue from the same time, we'd be like, oh, that okay.
Yeah.
It's all consistent, actually.
And the Star Wars, like getting quality Star Wars would probably be happening once a month for you. Even if you read one comic that's like, and the other one is fucking Return of the Jedi being told like, and sometimes with like better dialogue than the movie. Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy. Anyway, I don't know. Like I found the Star Wars comic to have like a kind of fun G.I. Joe feel. I don't think it was very strong in terms of like memorable stories from the Marvel comics, right? But there's some good Vader stuff in there. I liked a couple of the scenes towards the end. When the storyline wraps up in the Ellie issues, I think. Like there's some good stuff in there. There's some seriously adult moments and some pretty wild.
Dude, yeah, the back half was a lot stronger for me than the front half.
It almost feels sloppy at points. Like there's parts where like the wrong names are used, or like they confuse.
They just like forget that Biggs and Wedge are two different people and not the same person.
They forget like who's flying towards who. I forgot. I thought I clocked a moment where like the name was written as the opposite person. Like it just felt a little bit less serious. I don't know.
The art, like size, shapes, like other things get confused a little bit too. So yeah.
I mean, I'll say this. Like I say, comic books in general, they do this. Like, unless you're reading a graphic novel that can come out at whatever pace, as a whole finished product where it's like a piece of collaboration between two people, a lot of the time, if it's Batman or something like that, or Spider-Man, where it comes out multiple times a month, you're going to have some deadline issues because it's a fucking living, breathing thing. And sometimes somebody's going to have to step in and write. So we got to remember that, but it is still discordant when we're now reading it in like a straightforward.
I think the things that, like, if you look at how many people work on it on the sloppier ones, there's like twice as many people involved, and so maybe that's why things get too mixed.
Cooks,
and weren't you saying like at some point you would just draw the art and later somebody would put in like dialogue and
that
other
is literally
stuff?
the house style of Marvel Comics for decades. That's not just like a thing sometimes.
That still blows
that's
my
called the
mind
Marvel
because
style.
it's like
How would you
like
do that?
how do you
Jack Kirby, man. Like, it would be like the action is dictated by the thing, and then you just write the words, because comics
So they
is
had an outline,
Well, look, comics is
and then
comics is a collaborative
crazy. I
medium. We think about it. If we approach it from like screenwriting, it doesn't quite work because it's not screenwriting. Like I was saying last time, a lot of stuff happens in between the panels that we just kind of make up, right? So like, what the art is doing in terms of telling the story in a comic is a lot more than like the visuals alone do a lot more in comics than the words. And so the idea was that if they're equal, you can also adapt the words to the pictures in the same way that you can adapt the pictures to the words. And so it's faster to just draw the pictures and then do the words, because if you have a deadline and you got to write 5 comic books, the artist kind of already tees up the writer, and the writer doesn't have to like come up with as much shit, because they kind of like tell a visual story, then they just fill in the details. So it's just about the medium more than like what they think great sequential storytelling necessarily was. But especially in the movie adaptation, they go fast and loose. I mean, I think the Marvel style is on display there, even though they're basing it off the movie. There's like the scene with the Rancor in Luke is like 2 frames.
Yeah.
And they do it, and it works, but it's just like bam, bam. And that's me snapping my fingers, by the way. It's just like bam, like it is fast, and you're just imagining so much of what happened, and they just write like a little paragraph, and that's to me good comic writing.
With specifically the Return of the Jedi one, and maybe because it's based off a screenplay, there is like 10x the words. Like it is truly a graphic novel where you're like the words maybe more so than even the images are really like pushing it forward.
That's how like Fantastic Four is, or something like that too, where there's like a lot of like exposition that has to happen. Stanley will just come in and be like, "Here's what's happening," and you're just like, "Okay, like I guess I know that now."
Going back to what Davis was saying earlier, I think the idea of reading it all back to back to back to back, yeah, a lot of my critique is, I think, based off of that, because just art style alone, from the first issues we will talk about today to the end, it is straight up just the art is totally different. And then we hit Star Wars, we're in Return of the Jedi, and it looks like Star Wars. Like, we're in Star Wars all of a sudden.
They got the same team mostly from the Empire to come back. They got the like art team that did that came from John Carter or I forgot what they like.
Right.
So that they had a different colorist, but like then I think we get back to that.
Even colorist wise, like there's one of the notes I wrote was love a pink Death Star. Like that is a thing that happens, and then there's like
the vibes immaculate.
Yeah, it's weird. You can see all the different like when you look at the stuff we're going to talk about early, it is very 70s and the colors are crazy and off the wall. But when we get to Return of the Jedi, you would think, oh, it's going to look like Return of the Jedi. No, the colors are still there. Yoda is sporting a red ass robe.
Dude, it is it is so psychedelic.
I love that about it.
Like
yeah.
it's when you look at like video games where they change the colors of something or like something, it feels like cooler because it is like a little different.
I
Even though the art
enjoyed
styles are vastly different color wise, they're like, no, it's comics.
I enjoyed the annual for
purple
similar
and
reasons.
pink Vader. Like there's like him. They did one where it's like purple and then the lights or whatever.
yellow
the highlights.
energy.
It
are
looks
like,
so good.
and you're like, fuck, what? Like,
yes.
hell yes.
Yeah, that's why you can't do that in a visual medium in the same way without it being like comic booky. Like there's some extra element of drama that you can add with that sort of.
It's that
visual.
like bisexual lighting vibe, but
Yes.
it's Vader. It's on
Yes.
Vader. It like looks good.
Yes.
You're like, yeah, okay.
Yes. I don't know. I think also, yeah, I was gonna say the annual as like a little one-shot story has such a neat and like. I mean, annuals are kind of there traditionally to be kind of like a switch up. I feel like a vibe check on the.
It definitely was. Yeah.
Like and it definitely does that really well. And I just thought it was such a cool little thing on its own because it's just kind of like a totally different story.
It's like interesting, but it also teases like a future.
It may, but like
That's the one where they like meet the like two youngsters
Flint
on that
and
planet.
Barney, Barry, whatever his name was.
Like that one. Yeah, well, I guess we'll go over what happens in it, but that one like
liked
teases
it.
like
Yeah.
a potential interesting future. Also, that one has some like really inconsistent art, but like the art that works is like, yo,
Dude, that's
like
that one
it's clearly like
page-
the guy wanted action, and when
Yeah.
it gets to that, you get some of the like sickest, like the dudes that are like from Mandalorian, like coming in, like the secret police about to break in, is like some of the coolest art ever. You're like, what?
There's this one that's like a sunset colored like 4-panel that has no dialogue, and it's like the desert, and it's like one image in 4 panels that just looks so fucking sick.
I see all of these great panels, and I raise you Chewie drinking that spiced drink, and in
going,
3 panels, he's like,
I literally
"Whoa."
texted you guys that picture.
and the red.
where he like vomits it up or whatever. It's hilarious.
Do you remember the red 4-panel action sequence where Luke slices the stormtrooper?
God.
That was pretty sick too.
I mean, there's like some really great art. It's just I think style wise, consistency's all over the place.
Yeah, which I'm just saying is again like par for the course for
So
comics.
the images that you can't see this, people, but it's like this image is of the guys in the annual talking to Luke. He has like a mustache. That's one. The next page, the next panel is him. This is still Luke.
yeah,
is
yeah,
him.
I get it.
Different
The next
guy.
panel is One Punch Man, like super zoomed in, super whatever, and then we see him again, and it's another like. For me, I'm like, what?
It's like
so wild.
It's like psychedelically amorphous in the way that like in an anime, for example, sometimes when somebody's whispering, all the features on their face get really small. Or
That's like that one. But the problem is like usually you do like two. You have like the chibi, like you have clear distinctions.
Yes.
Panel to panel. There's a panel where Leia has a like goatee because of I
Like
think
shadow.
shading,
Yeah.
and she has a goatee.
Yeah.
Like she looks. It's like
I think that's supposed to be her upper lip, but they just like cast the
looks-
shadow strange.
I mean, it's the
Yeah.
same thing as the Lando issue that starts with literally a real ass photo of Harrison Ford.
Yeah, they just that's
And they're
another
like,
thing.
that's Han Solo.
That's
It's
another
like,
thing
wait a
that's
minute.
so funny.
Drebs, dude.
Drebles, dude.
we got. Let's get into it.
Wait.
I love
The
Drebs.
last thing I want to say
His
about
friends call him Drebs.
the last thing I want to say about it as a whole, and maybe we'll earn that one day. No, the last thing I want to say about it as a whole is that at least for this first half, because it's before Return of the Jedi, like the comic book is constantly going like, Han, don't forget about Han. Remember Han?
Remember Han?
There's
He's
like always
important.
like there's like several glamour shots of Han. Even the cover of this trade is Han, and I feel like they were like they're like, yes, we're very aware that Han is the best part of Star Wars and that you like him the most.
And he was the best part of the comics.
But he's dead right now, so just don't forget about him. And here's like a photoreal chalk drawing of Harrison Ford.
It's so funny that it starts like it's
They
a
are
close
like
up.
they are like searching for him. So like.
Yeah.
Still though, it's
So
just,
it makes sense that he's top of mind, but I don't disagree. They like show him
They're
like
just like,
physically
remember?
he is a hologram,
He's
or like
here.
they
Yeah.
visualize
He's
him
around.
a lot. Where you're like,
they are looking for him, but you wouldn't think that they would think of him and then we see it. Like when you are in a movie,
They
if somebody's
also-
like, "What are you thinking about eating for dinner?" They're not like,
the big con, like they do a lot of stuff where it's like it makes the universe smaller, where they just everybody around the whole universe knows Han Solo.
yeah. Well, in Star Wars, planets are like one map.
Oh, and I guess like Jabba the Hutt does have a like bounty out on him, but they talk about him like everybody is very familiar with him as a human and the way that he is. and-
The notion is that he is like Jesse James or like some kind of like guy with a bunch of tall tales and real tales told about him because he's such a scoundrel and he gets around, and the amount of tales that he is wrapped up in is endless. But in a practical,
just funny because-
in a practical, realistic sense, it's absolutely unbelievable that you fly 10 light years in any direction and you then still meet a guy who's had personal business with Han Solo.
Well, and like a lot of those outlaws loved the attention and were like, I'm this person. Like, you know, they would like
Yeah.
make a big thing of it. Han is always trying to fly under the radar and not get caught, so that he is like, that person is weird, whereas Lando seems like the kind of person that is like, know me, everybody.
And the fact that Lando is definitely like, my man Han, let me tell you, regale you with tales. I don't think Lando would do that for Han.
Here's a picture of Han. All right, here we go. Star Wars 74, the Iscalon Effect. The rebels are on a loading platform on the waters of the beautiful planet Iscalon. Luke and Leia discuss Han's capture when suddenly a creature splashes Chewbacca from the water, kind of playfully, kind of weird, like, yeah, exactly like that. Just wanted to cool Chewie off. Swims off again. Chewie's pissed. The droids discuss their value to the mission because they are really into, like, staying indoors and working from home. And they talk about Vader coming back. Lando shows up, and he's like on their way to meet somebody who's gonna like give them some info. And so everybody has to go underwater, including C-3PO and R2-D2, who were just talking about how that might be the worst possible thing they can imagine. Then we meet Lando's friend Primor, who is like, they say he's the leader, but they say like, there is no leader in a school of fishes, but someone must swim first, my boy.
He's like, I like Primor
Yeah.
a lot. He's like,
Yeah, he's cool.
Just Obi-Wan. He's like very wise, but also like, they're going to do what they're going to do. I can only.
Can we,
Yeah.
really quickly, the writing for the Mer people. I just wrote down, like, that line you just said, this line, the sea is a lonely place for me when you're not in it.
Yeah.
Like, all their lines are just, like,
Yeah.
okay, I
They're
kind of
very-
dig
they're
it.
very romantic.
Have you
people.
ever read
Yeah.
like Aquaman? It's like, we get it.
Why
you
are what is it about being underwater all the time that makes you so?
We say like the
melodramatic?
world is a lonely. We're not like the sea level ground, the hard terra firma is a lonely place without you.
It's just funny because like they're talking ground language.
Yeah.
And they even make a point that C-3PO is like, at least I don't have to translate, and that no matter where we go, everybody can understand everything because I don't want to be in this comic. So they're outside of Odo Gunga style, like they're outside the city, and they get in and they're like chatting, and Primer's like, hey, nobody's listening to us because we are a public people where we like don't have privacy, but nobody's paying attention to you right now because they don't care about what we're doing. That's basically the vibe. And then we see that they're being followed, which is hilarious.
By like a snidely whip, like he has like that like World War I maybe like evil
The man
helmet.
He's the most standoutable character in the history of spies.
And his body language is it's not like relaxed.
No. Then we see there's a row of stormtroopers in the water. That's like the Empire. They have to like adapt the stormtroopers to every environment, which kind of
really weird.
Which explains why there's so many fucking types of stormtroopers. But I guess if you're a giant galaxy conquering organization, you're gonna need like mobility in any terrain.
Every new stormtrooper outfit is sick. Like I love it. The
underwater
stormtroopers
ones?
they killed it. Like even to today. For whatever issues I have with Disney Star Wars, it's not the costumes.
Yeah, stormtroopers rock. However, them all in a row underwater is just a funny panel. Yeah,
It's a funny panel. Like
It looks like Rey in
just-
The Last Jedi.
It's not the point of this, but like this whole city is like an unbelievable. It just does not feel.
It's a fantastical
It doesn't.
Mr. Rogers type.
It doesn't
place.
really make any practical sense.
Right.
But then again, I don't know. It doesn't. This entire story feels a little bit like cartoon, like Clone Wars episode vibes. But we find out about Tay Vanis and Yam Argo, who are like these two like revolution, like they're like CIA operative type people for the rebellion who are like sowing dissent among the people of Iscalon because it's currently occupied by the Empire. And so there's a flashback where we see Primer telling Vanis and Argo about the planet Telfrey in the same solar system, and it's like there was rebel activity there, and when the revolution started to like act up, the Empire just like fucking genocided everyone and took control of it. Or no, what was the planet? It was called Gamindar. The planet was called the twin planet was called Gamindar.
Yeah.
And then
Telefrey is a different one.
and
Or?
Telfrey was the one that got destroyed, and then they came in and grabbed Gamindar, and now that's under control.
under Admiral Tower.
Yeah, and then
Cool name, dude.
Iscalon is like a little freer, I think, than Gamindar is. Like Gamindar is like under the boot, and Iscalon is like getting colonized.
Yeah,
more.
like they're there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's just a giant ocean that it's like there's only like we have presence here, but there's not really like
Yeah.
you're not like really doing. They have no. They remind me kind of like the Na'vi or something where they're like, we just like chill in the fucking ocean, dudes. Like,
yeah.
wow,
So well,
okay.
so what they do is they send like envoys to be like, guys, we saw what you did to these people. We don't want that to happen to us. We'll happily work with you, whatever you need. And then the Empire like murders their ambassadors and just like says, fuck you, like die.
Yeah.
Crazy. So the people of Iscalon are like, help us rebels, because Argo and Vanis were like, the rebels will come, and the rebels are the good people who will help you. And they have no record of these people.
Were they trying to lure the rebel? Were they like committing these atrocities to like get the rebels to come to justify killing all of them, or was it just they just are that dickish? And
I feel like they were comically dickish. Like, I don't know if they had a
don't know.
plan. They were just kind of assholes.
Yeah.
it's tough when like they're trying to do a story about like subterfuge and stuff, but then also the villains are so cartoonishly where you're like,
Well,
I'm confused. Was this part supposed to be intentional, or are you just is this the clown villain part?
Tower's just like another ambitious Imperial with like one physical quirk to separate him from everyone.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
but I don't know what exactly these guys plan, like what's going on here exactly, because it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of sloppy and hard to understand. But I mean, if you read it and like slow down and read it, it does make sense, but it's just a little bit all over the place. And then so there's this weird scene also where like they were like, oh, I thought we never met these guys, but it turns out they were at Yavin, so they're like cool guys. And it's like, oh, okay, so they are. They do work with us.
There's a lot of that
Yeah.
weird, like, oh, we're gonna throw in this scene that, like, a great example of like we're all over the place is when Leia just watches a couple kiss, and there's a whole scene of like I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what? Why do we need to focus on this scene?
And then this weird thing happens
To
that
remind you that Han.
this thing
Right,
this
right.
thing happens that I
But
don't.
then there's a Luke scene,
There is.
which is also very weird. Where they're like left alone, and then he's like, Leia, I just wanted to tell you. And then they get interrupted, and I'm like, what is this about to be?
They were just trying to stir shit up. They knew they couldn't do anything, and so they're just fucking.
Actually,
with
I
us.
guess this is still before. Some of this early stuff is before.
You have a sister.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. It does sort of have a. It's weird because it's like a love
fine.
triangle, except for at the end, like they love each other, and Luke is like out of it.
I think
except for
main
the smooch in the
characters.
beginning.
I think main characters of opposite genders being in love with each other was like a big part of media
that-
more than it is now.
What's weird of that, though, is that for most of the comics, and the comics we're going to keep talking about, 99% of them is like, look, we all ship Leia and Han, which is why Luke has like hoes in different area codes across all
Everywhere
the
he
galaxies.
goes.
Yeah, everywhere he goes, there's a
He
different
attracts
woman.
the hoes.
And it's just like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But it's weird that for some reason, at one moment in this issue, they're like,
Yeah.
hey, especially after the fact that Leia is like, I wish I could kiss someone in public.
Yeah,
It's like a weird vibe.
that's about to happen because they're talking about how these fish people like have no privacy, and so
Yeah.
she's like, "Damn, I wish I just wore my emotions on my sleeves, but I'm a cold hard bitch. This sucks."
Yeah, and then Luke is like, I want to tell. I thought like we're doing this.
Yeah, but
This is-
they're not. No, they're not. So then they talk about the droid that Vanis had, K3PX, which I don't understand. Was it the wife that said it? Is that how it makes sense? Does the wife bring up the droid?
I don't remember.
So,
who.
they say that they had this, that he has this special droid that they could maybe contact and ask where Vanis went, right? So that droid is supposedly K3PX, which is a similar unit to C3PO, but
Yes.
with a bug head. And the last time they saw him was on a mission with them on Gamondar. So they're like, oh, but we know where he is, so we'll find him. We'll get him, and he'll know the answer, right? So then we have Lando and Chewbacca and the droids and the son of Primor, who is named Moan, who is the same guy who chilled off Chewie. Don't wake daddy. The guy who spit water on Chewie earlier. They're on the loading platform. They're off to Gamondar, the Imperial world. Moan and his wife, which is Krendel.
Right. This is when they have their like, the sea is a lonely place. Yeah.
Yeah, this is when Leia misses Han, and then before they get on the Falcon, they see that like weird cowboy guy that we saw earlier. Like, hell yeah, I'm about to get a promotion because I'm a bad guy.
Literally, he's like,
Yeah, he's
as
like-
he walks, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a fucking bad guy, and I'm gonna do some bad stuff. And then he walks off screen. And then on that planet, we see like they've like chained up the people of Gamondar, and they're like taking them into labor camps under this guy Tower, who's like
comical villainy.
he's like a mustache twirling Imperial with ambitions, and so he's like, don't tell Vader, I'm gonna have my own plans. And he has like a red eye, like some like cowboy
like
villain.
a bullseye red eye.
He's like
almost.
a
Yeah.
Gunsmoke guy or something.
But it doesn't actually do anything, right?
no, it's
No,
just
it's
The
a
whole
red
time
eye.
I was just
it's
like,
just so you can remember who he is, because all the Imperials look the fucking same.
At a certain point, there's like a bunch of Imperials that show up.
Yeah.
well,
and they're
that's
all
why they
like
call it
mutton
a
chops.
uniform.
Get out of here.
Yeah, is that a pun?
Boo.
No, you're just talking about actual word origins.
No, it's saying that they're all the
Like uniformity?
yeah,
yeah.
it's Latin, one form.
I guess-
all right. Anyway,
I guess I said it like it was a pun, but it's just the
that's why
word.
they call it uniform. Yeah, that is why they call it that.
I appreciate it. I thought it was
It's
good.
educational, edutainment, as we call it. Yeah.
Just like you got to think about where words come from.
That's true. You should do that while you're talking about Star Wars. All right, Luke and Leia are chilling.
Oh my gosh. Alex, you turned off your targeting computer.
Is
everything all right?
I took my pop filter out of the way because I wasn't even using it, but it looked exact. You got me good. All right. Luke and Leia are chilling out. This is when they have their moment where Luke's going to tell Leia something. Then Primer shows up. He wants to show them.
So maybe in the episode 9 was, I forgot
Yeah.
the name of the title already.
Rise of Skywalker.
When he's like, Ray, we got to talk about. They were like, actually, that was a reference to.
Yeah, that was based on Star Wars number 78. Yeah.
It all rhymes.
Yeah. George was very
I'm
pleased.
so interested to find out one day what the fuck it was. Was it I have force powers? Has to be, right? Has to be.
They hinted at it in the movie earlier.
I
where he's
had a
like, I
different
just,
arc.
yeah, it's like I felt things. Like all of us, we all knew.
But
Us
maybe he was
kids.
going to say I love you.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah. All right, so They like he wants to show you the planet. He's like, let's go walk the streets. Let's see the world of Iscalon and like learn. And Primer gives Leia and Luke like diving gear, and they're like kind of doing like tests, and it's like really hard for them because they don't want to go in the water, and they're talking about how alone they feel when they can't like when they're like alone on a planet where everything's underwater, and they're stressed out about being underwater, but they're like talking about Luke, and they're like, oh, Luke's gonna be like pretty good at this eventually. And
Yeah, it's like he was from a desert,
Yeah,
so he
they're
can't really
like-
swim, but he's a fast learner.
they're drawing the contrast, yeah. Which I love this stupid ass ongoing bit that Luke hates water. It is so pointless, but I love it.
It's also, again, a reminder that Luke comes from the desert world.
Yeah.
And now he's on the water world.
He says something.
And
There's a
not on
line-
the green
Honestly,
world.
like, I don't know. I swam so much as a kid that like I don't. If you never really
you
did
hate
that,
the
like,
desert?
what is that? What I love the desert too, but it's like, wow. Is like swimming a thing you need to learn when you're younger to like get it?
I think
or
it's
can
pretty
you learn
scary. I think it's pretty scary to jump into the ocean if you've never been in the water. That's all I'm
I
saying.
mean, it's scary to get in
Ocean
water in
is-
general if you just don't know how to swim.
Yeah.
I
Because
guess if you
your
have
body
gear, though,
panics.
that you just will be
I
fine.
think you get autothalassophobia if you have only been in a desert your entire life. I think that's
Sure.
I think it's it'd be like if you just were like falling through the sky.
I just think it's funny that Luke has this problem on water worlds and not like when he's in a swamp or when he's
Yeah.
on like a normal world
Yeah, or
that
an
just
ice
has
world,
a
yeah.
lake. Like it's only I'm from the desert world. I don't like water world, but like I like normal world.
He
You know,
has he has a line in this comic where he says something like
he draws a line in the proverbial sand.
he says like I wish he's
Hey.
like I guess not every world in Star Trek or in wow. He says I guess every world in Star Wars is in a desert or something like that.
Yeah, which I like get where you're like, oh,
I just thought that was ironic because of like
it's
how it is.
Oh,
and
because
stuff.
it's ironic because they go back to deserts, but it is a good. It's like one of those just telling moments where you're like, yeah, you kind of just only know what you think. So, guys, go travel, go see other cultures, go expand your horizons. Otherwise, you're like everybody.
You don't
likes
even have to
eat
be
just
good at it.
chicken
You
fingers.
can go fuck up in another country and that'll teach you.
you
some
don't
shit.
even have to go to another country, go to another city.
Oh my god, yeah. Go to like go from like if you live in like the South, go to like Los Angeles. If you live in Portland, go to Mississippi. You know,
Go
if
to
you
Baton
live in Los
Rouge.
Angeles, most of you didn't start here.
yeah. if you go to Los Angeles, say hi to your family in Ohio.
Yeah,
Hey guys.
All right. So the Millennium Falcon crew is talking about like, bro, Moan, like this isn't about you, but it's like so cool. And he's like, this is about friendship for me, dog. Like I don't care about the like the hardship. Like this is about like backing you up. And then his wife is also like,
his arc is so interesting. Anyways,
yeah, they're like we like kind of adopted Vanis too as like a family and like because he lost his family at the when they killed everyone on Telfrey and stuff. And then Tower decides to like say fuck it to protocol and just like now that he knows that the rebels are on the planet, he just like fires a big ass missile.
This is the most of the time moment because a missile in Star Wars to me, I'm like, wait a minute, he's launching like a tactical nuke at them.
Yeah.
In Star Wars,
Yeah.
It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it is very early 1980s.
Scariest thing you can imagine happening.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
well, and it's like it triggers the Iscalon effect that everybody references, but doesn't. They don't really explain it. Besides,
turns
like
out it just,
it's
like,
just the butterfly effect.
It makes the planet just kind of get weather wacky for a minute, I guess.
Oh, I thought it was like, what's the butterfly effect? Where it's like a butterfly flapping its wings in New York makes a tidal wave in Tokyo. I thought it was like you explode a missile on this side and it builds to a tidal wave.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a weird like.
it whacks out.
Everybody
everyone.
like knows about it too. You're like, what
Yeah.
how do you know this? Like, has it happened before? That's a pretty big thing. Like,
Well, they read the name of the.
do you guys like earthquake proof or Iscalon effect proof your buildings? No, just a giant vertical cylinder of glass.
Yeah, that's how it
Also,
works.
he launches the missile from one planet to another planet.
Yeah, yeah,
Bless.
dude.
They don't know how space works in
Yeah,
this shit.
it's cartoon. It's Méliès, the Man in the Moon type shit. Fucking Hugo type shit.
It really is, yeah.
So, but that's what's happening, and he's like, I've always wanted to fuck this up, so he does it. And then Primer is about to take them down to the grottos, but then they see his wife, Moan's wife, like with her tank smashed, like inside, like in the like dry part, and so she's like suffocating in the air. And so they like have to go get her, and Luke's like, I've learned, like, and he like flies off. in the water.
These cannot be very deep oceans for how he's like, I'm going to go up, get into the city, go back down a bunch.
I'm telling you, Star Wars is like PS2 level maps. Like nothing is that big.
Every world is one map. Yeah.
So they see the missile. They're like, "What the fuck was that?" It's like flies past them, but doesn't like hit near them. And then they get to Kendall in time, but they have no way to get her to the ocean, but that doesn't matter because then the Iscalon Effect happens and it like shreds the building apart anyway, and they're all in the water. And then we're into the next issue title. The city, which is called Pavilion, is like flooding and they're trying to get out. And Luke finds Leia's tank, which she left in there earlier, and they can like split the air. They get to Kendall, who's like now able to breathe, and she's like, come on. And then this like weird like guy who kind of looks like a like Seaman version of Luke shows up with a sword, and Kendall like takes off.
He really just is.
Yeah. And so they're just like, oh my God, we got to fight this guy.
Luke Sea Swimmer?
Sea Swimmer. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's like some Aquaman shit right there. The Rebels.
Fluke.
God damn it. Good job.
Fluke, dude. That's pretty good. The Millennium Falcon shows up. They get landed. They get the permission because Moan like still has like clearance or whatever. And he can't believe how bad Gamondar looks because he was like, I was excited to like show you the streets that I know, and they're like, I don't recognize them anymore. The Empire has like pulled out all the nature, put machines in there. C-3PO's like, hey, don't forget about K-3PX, and then we get Lando's Drebble disguise.
I loved this more than I could even begin to describe.
I couldn't stop thinking about.
He pimps it out later.
I couldn't stop thinking about in Metal Gear Solid 4. There's this guy with a monkey who sells you all the guns, and his name is Drebin, and he has like white hair, and he has like kind of like a purple suit, and I couldn't stop thinking about Drebin. He's the one with the monkey that drinks Coke.
What's crazy about this?
It has to be a coincidence.
Yeah,
but
couldn't stop thinking about it.
But.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
It almost completely
But he's not that version yet.
No.
in the Han Solo movie.
Yeah.
When they go and they open the closet and there's all the capes, and I was like, oh, that's a fun goof. It almost now is
uses those.
completely
He
canonical
uses
to everything. Where I'm
he
like,
uses them.
no, Lando has capes.
And they actually did canonize it in Lando, the Flame Wind of Ocean and stuff. He has like the pimp out
I
closet.
just couldn't believe that he's like, I have costumes.
Yeah.
Lando has a whole kit.
He has a
It's
cape,
great.
a beret,
It's
and
funny
an eye
because
patch.
like Han has a fabricator to make stuff. Lando just has the thing. He's
got
like,
the
no,
legit-
I don't
He's
make
like,
it. It's
he's
there.
like, fuck that AI shit. I got the.
Yeah.
I flew to this fucking planet. You
Like,
bitch.
I had artisans make
This
it.
is a bespoke beret.
The
bitch.
best part is this isn't the last time. They keep it going.
Yeah.
This is a gimmick for the rest of these. I love Lando in costume.
Yeah. So Chewie hates this, but Lando's like, bro, when it's a Lando plan, we do spy shit. When it's a Han plan, you can go be fucking stupid ass barbarians as much as you want. That's not how I do it. But Moan is like naive. They discover he doesn't understand that evil exists. He doesn't understand that like lying. And,
Dude, they have to like.
Yeah.
Was it Galaxy Quest where you have to explain?
I do not understand. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. R2 heads off because he's like, you guys are all clowns. I'm going to save the day. He goes to find the city computer.
They're
and-
also so not well thought out that they're like, oh, by the way, I gotta like get new water
yeah,
or I die.
yeah.
They don't like think about because he wears like a fish tank
Yeah.
helmet, but it's like I don't know the way they're so like, oh, if I don't get like fresh water, you're like if you're gonna go, you don't have like a whole system for this that's better than just being like,
It's a fishbowl in my head.
Okay. Maybe they're just not used to being out of the.
they're like I don't know, we all think in fucking public.
Maybe
We're not
it
really
takes,
like
maybe it takes 1
we're
hour.
doers, not
usually.
planners, man.
Yeah.
You're Plando over here.
Hey, you're Plando.
I've been sitting on that one for 2 minutes.
I'm Plando. You're Plando. I'm Fluke. He finds out that if he just does his job really well, nobody will ever check his papers because he's just the fucking best at it, which I think is a lot of people's experience. Rebels have found Admiral Tower. Lando is pretending to be Mr. Drebble, this like weird guy who like.
Friends call him
Well, you're allowed to you know that he's got you when you start to call him, but you call him Drebs.
Drebs.
And like he even says maybe Vader's going to call him Drebs.
I
If he-
love
yeah.
Drebs. Everything about this character. I love Lando being like goofy.
Yeah, so they
great.
pull out a picture of Vader, and Moan gets freaked out because he can't believe that that's a real thing because he looks so scary. And Darth turns out is looking for Vanis, and Tower's like, let's like if we get these guys, we can you can like team up with us because I need to get this fucking Vanis guy too because he owes me money, and you need him because Vader. So win-win, right? And they're like, sounds good. And then
They're like, okay, Drebs.
yeah, they leave, and then that like fucking dude finally shows up that was about to get the promotion. That guy shows up and he's like, hey, these guys are here, and they're these guys, and we already knew about it, and he can't act very well. Mr. Drebel is a weird-ass disguise. Lando is crazy. So it turns out the jig has been up the whole time.
Yeah.
Also, question, is that I guess it isn't retroactive, but does that establish like throughout video games and the like D&D style RPG,
Yeah.
different hyperspace speeds and engines get you places differently. So could you not say that they left at the same time, but that guy's one ship is clearly worse than the Millennium Falcon because he got there later?
100%.
Which is kind of interesting that his hyperdrive was just a worse
It's like
version.
it's like warp, right? It's like
yeah.
like warp 8
So he
versus
just-
warp 6.
And so the Falcon is just one of the best. It got there very fast.
It smacks. Yeah, it's the best ship.
Interesting.
That's why he's the guy. Even Jabba says he's the best. Okay. So they get to the unloading dock, and then Drebel, he still does the Drebel bit. They find the K-3PO unit, who is Vanis's droid. Apparently, he is like being really cagey, and he keeps asking questions, and he perks up a lot when they mention that it's Luke. And then, speaking of Luke, we're back underwater with Fluke, who is threatening them with a sword, and he takes their air and heads off, and so they have to leave, and they go to the surface, and when they get there, they realize that the Iscalon Effect fucking wiped everyone out, and that the jig has been up for the whole time, and they knew that they were there, and that they wiped out the planet. So it was some funky, timey-wimey type storytelling, but I think we're on the page now with what happened.
Yeah.
Because there's no, they put together that they are probably the reason this happened, rather than any other reason. So they're feeling kind of bad about it. They find Primer, who's somehow still alive, and Kendall is there, and she's so sad. And then that other guy shows up again, Fluke, but it turns out Fluke's name is Kiro, and Kendall says this is all Kiro's fault. And then Kendall already I'm sorry. Kiro says that it's Kendall's fault because Kendall is a spy. And then they look around and they realize that Kendall's already gone. So in the next issue, R2-D2 to the rescue. Wonder what's going to happen. Vader finds out that Tower is like on his way to getting Vanis.
They also, interestingly, they still called him at this point Lord Darth Vader.
Yeah. No naming convention quite figured out yet. I still think his first name is Darth at this point. But he's like, I think I know where Vanis is, and he's like, shut up. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Just mind your own business. And then he gets a call from the droid, and it turns out the droid is Vader's droid.
Yeah.
So later, I don't want to spoil anything, but later we actually meet Vanis's droid, and it's a completely different droid with a completely different name. So what the fuck was going on?
So
Double,
it's
triple
a fake
cross.
droid. Like,
Yeah.
how I interpret it is like, because they
Who brought
got
up
to
the
Kendall
idea?
and they like figured that out. They're looking for a droid. So here's the droid.
They
that you're...
saw the droid go off with this dude on Gamondar, K3PX. The other droid is called Ellie. It's a different droid.
But here's
They tell them, they are the ones that tell the party to
No, but
look
I
for
think
Do you remember
they
we
don't know
find
what
out
it looks
in the
like.
end that they have had Tay Vanis for months.
Yeah.
And they're all, this is all like a thing to string them along. Like,
So,
this
but
is
you're
not.
telling me, but I'm telling you, okay.
No, I know that he has a droid, and the droid that is his is not really the one that it is.
So how
but
did
the
they
droid that he has does actually work? Actually, oh no, now I'm where you're at.
How did they
Oh,
convince
what?
them? How did they convince them that this was their droid if it wasn't even his droid? Why do they think that K3PX is Tay Vanis' droid? If it's not, if it's just Vader's droid? Because my thought was
They
that,
actually don't explain
yeah,
that
my
very
thought
well
was that
because
Kendall maybe is the one who said it, but that doesn't even make sense to me.
well, like when we meet his actual droid, from the way they describe it, it seems to me that he's had that droid for a long time. Like it has like special
Yeah,
features.
that it's not the other
so
droid.
you would know, or it would be on file, like
How
what
did
the
they get
droid
the name
is, and it's a
K3PX?
whole different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm saying. It just doesn't make any sense.
Interesting.
But it turns out it's Vader's droid, and that the missile has already been fired, which is what pisses off Vader about.
How do you think C-3PO feels that his dad just like has another son? You think he made him in his room?
I don't think he's put it together yet. So then we're back to Leia, Luke, and Fluke, a.k.a. Kiro, back on Iscalon. Everybody who is alive, they're like trying to help them. And then this like fucking crazy water snake shows up.
The 15th sea monster in the comics.
Yep. This
Finally
crazy
shows
water
up.
monster shows up. Kiro like chases it away.
I do like sea creatures.
Yeah, it turns out this thing is called the Chiaki.
They're pretty good. I like them.
This thing's
I don't
called,
love this version. It's like kind of the cartoony. I feel like Disneyland.
It has a
like,
very similar
that.
to the
Has like a little
Battlefront 2.
mustache thing going on.
You know
Yeah.
the Battlefront 2 thing where like there's like some system on the planet that like cleans up dead bodies? Like I think it was Inferno Squadron that has that at the end.
Yeah.
yeah.
The golems
Yeah, it was
that we
weird.
reference all the time.
It was so weird. This is basically the same idea. These guys show up at like battlefields and eat everything, and that's what they're like big giant vultures, basically. Everybody's tired. Nobody can sleep. Kendall finds the rebels, gets the is like attack them. They are the ones who like caused this, and Luke's like. No, and then he like does like basically what he does to the Ewoks. He just like uses the Force a little bit. Everybody's like, "Oh shit!"
Chazzle dazzle.
Yeah. And then we find out another like the next like beat in R2D2 story is that everybody's like, this little motherfucker can work. Who owns him? And they're like, who fucking cares? We're making more money than we ever made.
Oh. Yeah, they've been planting the seed for like R2's like on the planet. Some random dude's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Go, you go get to work." And then everyone's like, "Wow."
Eventually he's doing so well that like one guy's like, he's mine. And they're
Yeah,
like,
and
no,
they're
he's
like-
not, you fucker.
Yeah, like he just wants credit for it. The weird thing is like based on what they've said about droids so far, you don't have like they're just a workforce. It's not like they are individual people. Like the Empire employs them, so it's weird that they're like, "Oh, this is my guy."
Well,
Like,
he's not.
The mouse
he's
droids
obviously-
just go around like.
He's obviously not uniform. You know, he's yeah. Okay, so we got other rebels back on Gamindar.
Fair.
Lando, Moan, Chewbacca, 3PO are there. they are stuck in a cell because I guess like the droid like whipped their ass. Moan is like dying because of the fishbowl problem.
Do they even show what happened?
No,
they're just in a cell.
They just wake up in jail. Everybody's really scared. Tower's like, haha, you fucking assholes, we're going to get you. And then K3 is like, actually, I'm outranked.
I got my eye on
He's
you.
actually like, I outrank you and I'll kill you if you don't let me take these away because I'm taking them to
I'm
Vader.
Tower. I always take the red eye. I'm done.
Yeah.
That's not really.
He sucks. He just has a coin in his eye.
He's not good.
It looks like when I
He's
put a
not
penny in my eye
cool,
socket.
and I love how he goes out.
Yeah. So the rebels are like, what the fuck is going on? R2 shows up. Chewie takes out the guards, Wookiee style. Everybody finds their way back to the Falcon. While R2 was working, he like went into the computers and told the like base security system to let them leave. So that's what happens.
They do a thing also in this that like kind of comes. I think it's in the movie sometimes too, where it's like the idea that like the computers everywhere kind of have personalities, and like R2 like goes and just like
Charisma
talks
stuff,
to the
yeah.
city, and 3PO's like, oh, he keeps such lowly company.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of, isn't there like a person who like can talk to the vibe of a city in like a comic? I don't know, but it does help, and you do learn things. It happens in the movies too, right? Doesn't he like
When he
talk
interfaces
to-
with Cloud City.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a cool idea to be like, I'm just gonna go like shoot the shit with this
Schmooze.
city's
Schmooze the AI.
learn some things.
So we see the Vader hologram firing Admiral Tower because he was like going way over Vader's head for no reason. And he was like, I needed that guy. What are you doing? Why did you do that? You fucked my whole shit up blowing that missile, you fucking idiot. And then he's like, wait, they're survivors. And he's like, for your fucking sake, you better. Yeah, he's like, and then he's like, by the way, kill him. And then
Yeah, his like, well, I'm gonna do this. Oh, also stormtroopers.
he thinks he's gonna live for.
Assassinate him.
He thinks he's gonna live for like one hot second. And then he's like, by the way, fucking just shoot this guy. It doesn't even happen on screen. Then we're
It's so
yeah.
I don't know. Like he kills people across time
Vader
and space.
Vader is stone
but
cold in
there's
this.
something about how just he's like, you guys kill him, and everyone's like, they just. It's Darth fucking Vader, so you're gonna do it.
The Venice reveal is fucking brutal. Also,
Dude, that was
Yeah.
like a
that was
a
like
heavy
oh
issue.
shit. Vader's like fucking John Wayne Gacy over here. On a floating platform back on Iscalon, we have them fighting off like the people. Kendall is like rallying them up. Stormtroopers are showing up who are like helping out. One tries to shoot Leia.
Stormtroopers like trying to be buddies with like, I think if we just all rush him at once, like
We'll get him, dude.
I think that's a tactical move that we learned in the Empire that we're going to share with you.
Kiro
You
takes
can't
one.
use that outside of this.
Kiro takes one for Leia and goes out, and Luke's like, Kiro! And he does this sick ass thing where he like,
Dude,
he does like this like
he
anime
becomes
kill.
like he like murders.
Yeah, he
My favorite part is, again, no one can see you do that move.
Yeah.
But for those at home, Alex did a very cool, like, old school samurai sword pull.
I would have won the
With a...
I would have won the Smash Bros home run contest with that.
You
one.
would have, yeah.
Yeah, so Kiro goes out, Luke like fires up and like basically gives into the dark side, scares off a bunch of stormtroopers. Turns out Kiro didn't die, but it like blasted his glass, so he needs to get in the water. So Luke like takes it, he's like runs off with him. Another snake comes and jumps at them, but the Falcon shows up and blows its head off, and the falling body of the serpent crushes Kendall.
You like can't see it, but it's like that comic thing where like, oh no, it fell and crushed her. So that's a
She's
series
got the
wrap on
story.
Kendall.
Yeah, she's good. They all get together, they head off, and they're like, Moan, you're going to be a leader now. And he's like, yep, and we're never going to talk to the rebels again.
Yeah, he's like,
And
don't
we're
come back
never
here.
gonna come
You're
out of the
not
water
welcome."
again, and fuck you, but I love you, but like, fuck you. And then we're on to the...
Is it like because Empire Strikes Back had a dark ending? It was just like, it was weird for like his arc to be like, hey man, I'm just like going with the tides to being like, get out of here.
If they can't move the
I'm a
story,
leader
no,
and
because
you
they
can't
can't be in
be.
Return of the Jedi, right? So like they just have the only other option is we're still
Look,
friends.
We were
on a
there. We were
person-
at
yeah.
Yavin. Don't look too closely because you'll never see us.
Yeah.
There's see. Anyways, because they're water people.
Oh,
It's a
He's
weird.
on fire today.
I love
funny
that.
as
You gotta put me
hell.
out. Dude, I went too far. I went too far with the water.
You guys can't
Went
see
too
it.
far with the water.
You can't see it. He wanted me to pee on him.
I'm glad you didn't see
He
my
licked
face.
his lips.
Also,
He licked his lips. He wanted me to pee on him.
they're parched because I'm a sea creature. These people have no technology. I don't even believe they built the fucking city. They would have. They'd offer no help to fucking the.
Yeah, why the rebels would need
rebels.
them makes no sense.
Who would have built the city? All right. Number 77.
Why would they build the city?
To live in it. All right.
But again,
They don't live in the city.
strategically, as a
pavilion.
rebellion,
It's-
what did they offer
it's
the
like-
rebels?
Ocean. Ocean shit.
Ocean, dude. Every
Mon Cal
property
had-
is oceanfront property,
Oh,
dude.
They
All
maybe,
right.
we don't know. We don't
The
know.
Mon Cal at least had ships they can convert into warships.
The rebels
These
are-
guys have nothing.
They might have
Nothing.
They might have resources. The rebels are ice cold.
Maybe
You
they
never
just
know.
chill dudes and they just were like, don't
Get
do that.
involved.
Yeah.
We really need more mouths to feed.
But that's
Let's
enough.
do it.
That's enough silliness. It's time for a serious story. Issue 77, Shantus of the Stars, which is a French word that means female singer, in case you didn't know. Our band of rebels is back on Arbra, the home base, the tree planet, which is very
you
funny.
mean Hoojib Prime?
Dude, Hoojib
Bring
Prime.
the Hoojibs
The
back.
opening.
Hoojibs are in there, too. They're like
Yeah.
part of it. Yeah.
This. I fucking
The
hate
first
this
panel
issue.
is pure Hoojib.
Yeah.
The opening thing is God. What do they say? Like he's like on C-3PO and he's like, "Shoo, no, get away from me, you nasty little beasts, you vermin, you hoojib." I was like,
Ooh,
Damn.
that
I
doesn't sound
forgot,
right coming
like,
out of your mouth.
ugh.
Yeah. Hoojib does sound like some kind of fucking...
Well, and C-3PO like an issue ago was like, "You hang out with the lowliest people are too." It's like,
Yeah, he must be British. Yam Argo and Tavanis have gotten... The report is that they have info on a new super weapon that the Empire is making. We know now that Yam Argo died on Losbane, which is where the gremlins are.
Rip.
If you remember those teddy bear gremlins that when they like go through puberty, they become evil.
dude, this
I hope they don't show up in this.
This
That'd be
issue
crazy.
literally brought back the dumbest aliens from the comics.
They were
All
just
all of them. All of
in
them.
the last storyline. It's not. We just took a break from it. It's not. It's
No, but
just-
this is like
But like they collected like
Yeah, I know.
the
Everything.
the red people, the
the
not
horny,
Orions.
the horny red people.
Yeah. They're
the
paying off an arc.
Hoojibs,
They're paying
the
off an
little
arc.
tiny gremlin guys. Everything about this issue is not good. But I love this.
Yeah.
I love this
It's
because
very-
it's so goofy.
it's
This
very, yeah.
is the holiday special.
Yeah, this is a very silly
Yes,
one.
yes.
It's like a two-parter before Return
This
of the
is
Jedi.
straight up Luke running from horny women for multiple pages.
It's exhausting. Like it's annoying. Like it's a bad. It's just it's like not great representation. Obviously, also from a narrative, it's just like it's like Team Rocket, how they like kind of ruin any idea, any like
They
plots?
kinda-
You're just
they
like,
kinda
oh, and
end
now
up-
we're back to the like. Can we like just do the plot? Like, please get through whatever you have to do. Turns out the plot is that it's just
To the
a
credit of that
madcap
show,
nonsense.
to the credit of that show, the Team Rocket duo of Jesse and James eventually like exceed their role. They become good guys practically. They're pretty cool in the end.
Not for hundreds of episodes over years.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're unfamiliar with anime, but
But also Leia singing songs.
okay, wait. So okay,
Blonde
so hold on.
hair.
So hold on. So
Good
first of all,
stuff.
we got some things to do before that. So we know that Argo and Venice got this info, but somehow there's a rumor that also Han has the info. But Lando and Chewie are like, no, he didn't. But they don't say that to anybody. And the general sends Lando and Chewie to go look for Han, and Leia and Luke are going to go look for Venice. So
That
they
is
both-
a funny bit where they're like, just between you and me, Chewie, was there any time in
He's
Chewie's
like, no word.
what do you fucking think?
He's like, no way. We never did that. No. Leia and Luke.
did smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah. Well, you got
Spice.
we got up to some stuff, but it was pretty chill.
That green spice.
Chewie speaking English is a very funny thing. He'd be like,
It's just funnier in those shots where it's that guy, like the British guy, or what's his face, just saying it.
so for some reason, Leia and Luke take a bunch of hoojibs with them who want to like help out.
I always forget
but
that
it
who
turns
Jim's
out
talk.
it turns
They're
out
telepathic. They're telepathic.
they're telepathic, but it also turns out like they are an observed member. Like they get in because they're like, I am the chancellor of the Hoojibs, and like this
They're like sentient. They're just small. But they're like human rights type
Right,
level.
but like, how did
species.
they were only on that world and then discovered by the rebellion. So how does their diplomatic status relate to the rest of the galaxy where they're like, yes, greetings. I have come from the Hoojibs. You're like,
the less you think,
Maybe the rebels have.
in this issue, I promise
Maybe
you,
the rebels
better.
have. Maybe the rebels have criteria, like some sort of standard diplomacy.
right, sure.
Anyway,
They
it
got
doesn't
papers?
matter. It doesn't matter. They get to Cabray. Yeah,
Please.
They get to the rebel papers, the rebel alien respect papers. They get to Cabray, which is a
Please don't blow us
space.
up.
It's a space station. They get out of the ship and they see a Zeltron, and Luke's like, "No, it's Danny," but it's not. It's just another horny Zeltron. They were like, "Dude, we're telling you, these guys just pretend like they want to fuck you because they know you, but they don't know you. It's not personal." And then Leia like sees one, and then she's like, "Whoa, wait!" And then Luke's like, "Ha ha ha!" No,
That
it's-
was a funny like one-off, and they never touch it again. But her just being like,
Yo, I'm gonna bet you.
She's like one guy, which by the way, that guy, there's never another male Zeltron the rest of the issue.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
all
yeah.
women running around after Luke from this point on.
look, let's just be real though. There's always somebody that's so hot
The
that
bit-
you just
You're like, oh, yeah,
forget
okay.
yourself
the bit
for
with
a
Luke,
second.
The bit
Yeah.
with Luke is that he is so hot to the Zeltron race for some reason.
Every
in
single
earnest,
one of
in
them.
earnest, that he just continually picks up more and more of them throughout the comic. So just so you guys,
If you
so
just
guys
imagine
understand what we're
Luke
talking about.
before Mark Hamill got the motorcycle accident, you're like,
I still think he looks hot with
Every-
the scars.
Every single person, to the point where it's like almost jarring that like these women are just like, "Hey, we're gonna follow you now. We should hang out together." And he's like,
look,
"I'm just trying
I
to
have
do
a
my
whole
job."
life and backstory, but I want to give all that up.
So so they get confronted by a guard because it's like a crazy group of people that walks in with these hoojibs and all this shit. But the
Honestly,
hoojib-
if you walked in with 3 bunny rabbits, like
Yeah.
people would be like,
Three-
I'm so sorry. You
When the-
cannot come in here.
But when the bunny rabbits
There's
are like,
produce, so no. And they're like, hey, buddy.
but when they like Jedi mind trick him. They Jedi mind trick him.
Except
with
for
the
it's
hoojib.
Hoojib mind talking. It's not
Yeah.
even trick. They're just like, I'm the chancellor.
But maybe they have like mind control powers.
But also, you can't say no to Hoojibs and have those little gremlin assholes just in the bar,
Yeah,
like hanging out. At that point, everything's
exactly.
welcome.
So then
welcome.
they decide to like look around. Luke finds the private rooms. He's like getting like thirsted on by Zeltrons. Pliff is like, he thinks that something about Luke is really hot to them because he's like, I don't detect any like subterfuge. They just want to fuck you. And then they keep following him around. In another room, he finds the actual panel where Venice hid his message, but then this like weird ass like assassin shows up who seems to be like about to kill the governor. And so Luke like follows him, and the Zeltrons just like kidnap him, I guess.
Wait, who was the
They
assassin?
want
Because
to
this is
jump
so
his
inconsequential. It was like they want to kill an Imperial person,
Yeah.
and he's like,
He just like gets mixed up in some like superhero type shit or
Yeah.
something. And so that's what happens. And then but the Zeltrons like get him. And then Leia like goes to all the rooms in the performers area and she gets surprised by some people coming her way. So she like jumps into a dressing room and they're looking for Shirley, but Leia was like trying to find a disguise like 1 second before. She puts on Shirley's wig. They come in and they're like, "Oh, Shirley, there you are. Come on."
Time
and
to
she's,
sing.
Yeah. And so she's like, "What?" And I'm going to perform for the governor. And so Luke is now back in the dining room with the Zeltrons around him, and the governor is sitting there, and the Shantus of the Stars is about to come out, and it turns out that it's Leia in a little titty outfit with a wig, and she starts singing, and the audience loves it.
thank God she's apparently an incredible vocalist and like legitimately entrances beings. She forces puberty on a creature.
We'll get to that in a minute.
It has a sexual
We'll get to that in a
awakening,
minute. The point
and it
that-
hulks
the
out.
point-
That's
the
my
point.
favorite part of the entire
The
issue.
point that we need to get to first is that the plan to kill the governor is to put poison in his soup. So she goes out and Leia's singing. It causes the
It isn't-
sexual awakening in a lesbian baby.
Literally, they say it.
Yeah.
They're like, he got so excited and worked up over Leia that he straight hulks out and is like, yeah.
Which
It's amazing.
and that causes a commotion, which makes it impossible for Luke to get to the
because
soup.
he's like tearing people up. That species, like, I can't. I'm sorry. I get it. I have a weird brain, and it just doesn't make any sense. You can't. If you just hulk out and murder people, you would not bring them into the fold. And it's
Right.
like, well, the juvenile ones are, and you're like, then don't bring them at all. I don't know. If they're kids, you bring them to a bar, and then if they grow up and they can spontaneously
it's different.
hit puberty because of a
different.
different race.
No one
Have you
thought
seen- have you seen
that
Arrival?
Leia would get them like that.
Have you seen
but-
Arrival? It's like that.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I have seen Arrival. Wait, what?
It's just we communicate in a different way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not a good thought through joke. So Luke goes through the soup. He gets the soup. He fucks the soup up. Then the
Beats the shit out of the soup.
he fucks that soup up, and then the Losby or whatever is like, "Rrr," and like goes for Luke now. And so two like troopers go in because they're trying to protect him, but they can't fire their guns because the Hujib like sucked the guns from their energy. Because I forgot that Hujib
Dude,
suck
I
energy.
forgot that too, and they had to like
Yeah.
bring that up.
So then Pliff's like, no, sing, and then she does, and then he
Sing, my angel of music.
and it
And then she does.
it tames the Losby.
He just sits there
And
like
Luke's like-
me watching fucking Star Wars on VHS as like a 5-year-old.
Luke's, like,
little
surrounded by-
cross-legged, just like
That
wow.
last panel
Luke's
is
sitting there
ridiculous
surrounded
looking.
by Zeltrons, and he's watching Leia sing, and he's like, "Well, guess I'm gonna masturbate." Like he's just like, "All's well that ends well," and that's the story.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Love
like,
it.
Like,
Love it.
if we extrapolate at all, that guy gets killed. Like the Empire murders whole planets. They absolutely shoot that guy in the back of the head.
Yeah. Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay.
They
That's fine.
probably also were like, famous rebel outlaws who saved us. You're
Yeah.
under arrest too.
Then we get to Hoth stuff.
Well, it says I spent way too much time baffled by like they're like next issue. We go back to Lando and Chewie for the big con, and then I went to the next issue and it was Hoth stuff, and I was like, what happened to the big con? And I'm dumb and I'm on the app, so I'm trying to switch between things. In the little breakdown, it's just like
It's a con.
they like added another one,
Yeah.
but it did. I spent a not inconsiderable amount of time trying
figure it
to
out.
like figure this out, and I'm already
That's just a window.
a slow reader. And I
That's
felt like
another-
I felt like that was the big con
That's
all
a Davis
along.
world. Yeah.
Another completely different art style for this one.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they just, it keeps changing.
So
This does feel like. Didn't you say like sometimes people have to come in and pinch?
yeah, no, I'm almost positive that's what this is. So we got Leia and we got Luke and we got what's that other guy's name? Barlon. Can't remember.
The third dude in the Y-wing.
Yeah. They're on their way to find Wedge, and they're getting to like one of those like rebel transports, the ones that look like a football stadium in space. They get up to it, and it's derelict, and the only people on it that they do a life scan, and they're the only ones on board. And they find this log, and they find a playback log, and like the whole story is like a Wedge tail for a minute. And it's a flashback, and Wedge is like, yep, I was on here, and he's leaving like his like death log. He's like, if you got this, I'm probably dead, but here we go. And it turns out that after Hoth, Wedge, and Jansen, his like guy from his ship, left the hangar, got hit by the Imperial Walker, landed the ship. Wedge gets out fine. Jansen gets really hurt, and the ship explodes. And
Can I ask, real quick? I was positive, and maybe this is just me misremembering, but I was positive that Wedge was one of the dudes when we see the transports escape, that he's like, let's get out of here. Like, I swear to God.
It's almost possible.
Like, Wedge does absolutely
get out.
survive. This made me try to think about, like,
I think that
where was he in
I
this?
think that they did not catch that Biggs died in the Death Star, and that they still think this is Biggs. But that's just me.
like that they several times are like, it's his best friend that he grew up with on Tatooine,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, they're like,
And he has
Wedge,
facial hair.
his buddy from Tatooine. But no, Wedge is Carillion, you guys. So Jansen gets hurt. The ship explodes. They spend the night in like a burned out AT-AT the one that Luke took out. They go back to the base the next day, which is now like overrun with Wampas. They decide that they're going to like get the ion cannon powered up. They found some rations inside. It was still working. They try to send out a distress signal, but he finds out that there's a trap. Like before he does, like if he sends the signal, there's like TIE fighters there listening to get him. And then they hear noise, and we find the Wampas are on a Tauntaun.
There's a lot of
killing.
like errors here, but the idea that they left for like weeks or days, short, like TIE fighters, just like in orbit, like flying around is like.
It's possible that there was a Star Destroyer just stationed there for a while.
Okay, they just
then
they
they were
just say
patrols.
it's ties.
Yeah.
They're
They patrols,
listening
you know
in
what I
is
mean?
like, all right.
Yeah, I don't know. But so there's TIE fighters. There's a loud noise. They find Wampas killing Tauntauns, and they save one of the Tauntauns. And they hang out in the turret for like several months while these TIE fighters are still there.
Poor Jansen's just going
dying
through it.
slowly.
Yeah.
But then one day he comes back, and Wedge finds it all fucked, and Jansen's like murdered. And so he follows the tracks across the planet. He finds Arn's Grimraker. Scavenger Arn's Grimraker and his like crew, who are apparently the most soulless men in the universe.
Everyone knows him
Yeah.
because everyone knows everyone. in
And
Star
they
Wars.
like worked with the. I think they know them from working with him.
Yeah. So Wedge goes back to the turret. He like does his like little solemn duty, buries Jansen, and decides, you know what? I'm going to have to fucking take the fight to them if I want to get out of here. I can't just like continue to be in this turret, or else I'm just going to fucking die. So he goes to the camp, creates a diversion, steals the ship, the big ship, and heads out. And they're like, fuck. And it's the ship. He counts on the fact that the ship was already going to be programmed with like a sequence to get through the patrols, because they must have had that to get in. And so they chase him, but they forget about that for some reason, and the TIE fighters kill them instead, and Wedge realizes that he's now stuck on a ship by himself with no fuel and no food, and he's about to die. And so they are now finished listening to this story, and then Barlon is like, oh my god, it's Wedge, he's outside on the ship.
literally purple suited Wedge, just like, hey guys.
And he's like, hell yeah, thank
It's
you guys.
crazy. I was like just doing the thing outside when you scanned.
He was like, I figured everything out, and I was going to like head back, but I was just about to leave a message to send you guys that told you that I was fine, but thanks. You didn't need to come here. Bye.
Cool.
And so that's that little story. And then we're on to
They should
the...
have been like, get in the
It's-
Y-Wing, plenty of room.
It like once I got past like the art style that I didn't like love, or that it was just
liked
different, and I got like past the whole big con thing, and that I'm like, I think you guys just have the wrong character here.
Sure.
I did enjoy it. Had like a little Jeremiah Johnson like.
Super Silver
I also
Agey
love
vibes.
like camping and other stuff, so like it kind of like a fun little survivalist
Gary
like
Paulson.
story.
Yeah, big time. Hatchet vibes.
Yeah, I don't know, like.
I liked
it
it.
made me wish we had stuck more in the like Disney verse of we're gonna tell a one-off story that's kind of connected to a thing, but is it totally like this? The story, it's all right, but what it is like concept-wise, I like the like, oh, a dude was left behind on Hoth and he has to survive on Hoth and get off the planet.
It's like a MacGyver episode.
yeah, God, I love that stuff.
like a Silver Age.
Like, what Ray? What does she make her like? What's her house? What is it like a Ray and
in like the first movie.
yeah? What is she living in?
she lives in like...
Was it was it a
AT-AT,
walker?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. There's something like cool about like living in the ruins of something. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
the Masashi Temple is kind of that, but like, I don't know, like it's an interesting, like getting that level of stuff is like always fascinating to me. And yeah, I don't know, you can do more, like the idea that there are these guys that follow battles is like, okay, it's also Hoth. It's like so remote, whatever. Like there's some stuff that's a little bit weird, but other than that, it's like pretty interesting and cool.
Without
and
the like connection to Star Wars, it's a fun little 80s, early 80s like
I think that like,
television
it's-
movie script.
It's like cool because of its light connection, like that. It's a Star Wars story that's not about that.
Right,
It's
right,
like-
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just mean it's like not very accurate to what happened, probably, but it's fine.
But you can do that with other
not
stories.
that
that,
many
like, yeah.
tweaks make it.
Right, 100%. Just like the original, the James Gunn Suicide Squad film. Yeah. All right. We now are on the third annual. So this is, if you don't know what an annual is, it's usually like an aside, like a side story that they take to like set up a new piece of information that you need to know to like get to the next like big story arc or something like that. Or like if they're about to be like a big summer event, they might like figure out some way to plant some seeds in the annual. But it usually kind of feels like a break from your normal story and has kind of like a different look or a different feel. Yeah, it's like 10 pages longer also because it's the annual. So it's like it doesn't come out that often.
Come on, baby.
This is only number 3. This is like issue like 80 or something, and it's only annual number 3.
This one, loved. I actually really
I
liked
had a
this.
fun time with this. It was a pretty decent story. We're on Belderone.
I have, like human faces changing aside, the like art was like sick. Like
Mobius
the
vibes.
fuzzy background stormtroopers were like a vibe. Like
Awesome.
there's a lot of stuff, and then like there were some action sequences or like suspenseful moments that were just really felt much more modern, much more interestingly drawn than
A
what
little
we
bit
have
more
seen.
confident of a thing than
Yeah.
how the
Had
Star
a good
Wars
plot twist ending. I liked it.
Also,
Yeah, it
if you
feels
have-
like I don't know anything about this artist, but I'm like, if this was like a young gun that was like, I'm like doing some cool shit.
if you have a chance to pick up this Epic Collection, Volume 5, the art in it, like on paper, is really beautiful. So we're on Belderone. Vader is on his way there. It's part of his big plan. He tells his like troops that they can't let him down, or that he's going to be super mad at them because
I'll be super pissed.
because like people are getting more and more into the rebellion and it's pissing him off. And he's like, this is going to be a big inflection point, so we got to be ready, guys. So we find out Flint is running around, and he's trying to look for Barney because a ship just landed. So there's Flint and Barney. It's not an Imperial
Is that a
ship.
reference to something?
I don't know. It's not an Imperial ship, so they're like excited about it. Flint's mom is like, well, don't you have to go to work? And he's like, listen, I'll figure it out.
This
But-
is like
Yeah.
100% like Luke code. Like they're just like on this
Yeah,
planet.
on
They're like
purpose.
excited about a space
They
battle.
do this all the time.
And it's
Yeah.
fun too because Flynn is like
Yeah.
the very like rebels are awesome, and Barney's like, I don't know, man, we're gonna get in trouble.
We're definitely gonna. We must find. We definitely will see them again. I think. Rebels landed their ship on Belderone to get off the Falcon. There's a big crowd. Flint's like, "Oh my God, he's a Jedi, just like my dad," which is like crazy. Flint
Yeah,
asks
because
him about
Jedi
it.
aren't supposed to have kids, right?
Yeah, Flint asks him about it. That's
It's
exactly.
been a while.
Yeah.
He escaped.
Yeah.
And was like, well, I got no rules now. No rules, just right.
Yeah. Well,
Flint's
okay,
dad.
so he asks Luke about it.
Force
Other
high
people
five.
are asking about it. Luke kind of blows it off. The rebels say they're from Colthus. The crowd leaves.
It's like cartoonishly like the whole town comes, they
Yeah.
say one word, and then it's like,
they're like, "Whoa!" And he's like, "What the fuck was that?" And they're like, "Okay, maybe there is something fucking weird going on here." And then he senses Vader is nearby also, which is weird. And then they're in town, and they go to the inn, and it's Flint's mom who runs the inn. And turns out that like somebody has informed on the fact that the rebels are there because of whatever they said about Colthus. So the problem is that the general, again, overambitious guy, takes matters into his own hands. So then we're in the inn. The rebels discuss how weird it is, like how the people are here, how they like don't really say what they do on the planet, even though they like talk about it a lot somehow, and how everybody's like really cagey about it. And Flint and Barney are there, and they can't believe that Luke is here. They're like, he's a Jedi. I know it. He's faking. He's faking that he's not a Jedi, which they're right. And Leia sees him, and he's like, I think these boys have a crush on you, Luke. And then 3 Imperial guards show up and attack them, but two of them get taken out, and the last one like shoots himself. Did that happen?
Yes.
Yeah?
Like, it's like the spy where
Yeah.
you catch him, except for I think he just aced himself. Like,
Yeah, just like instead of eating a
but they're like these. They had the like samurai hats. I don't know. They were like a cool, different other.
There's
thing.
this one weird scene where I thought he was talking to Vader in the shadows, but it looks like one of these guys for a minute, and it was so confusing. Anyway, the agent calls the general again because the rebels blew their cover. The boys are like, oh, he is a Jedi, because they hear him say Jedi. Vader hears about what's going on Belderone. He's pissed because, again, there's a fucking general who's like trying to go over his head, and now 3 guys are dead, and the rebels know that they're coming, and he's pissed about that, so he just fucking chokes General. And the general's name is General Andrid, which is android without an O, which is just fucking hilarious to me. So then he's like, I have to go to Belderone now and deal with this myself. So he knows there's a base on Cultus. He doesn't want to, he wants to like strike while they're still pants down. And so he's like, all right, yeah, I should have he says something like funny. He's like, if you need something done, you need to do it yourself. But
Very Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, I don't remember what he said.
Or grabs the Infinity Gauntlet and is like,
Says, I love you
I am
3000.
Iron Man.
Yeah. I am Iron Long. So on Belderone, Luke and Chewie are... yeah, you get it.
Instead of that, like, wow sound, it's
Yeah.
just him going, no.
Oh, 4 times. So Luke and Chewie are ready to leave to warn the troops, and they're going to leave Lando and Leia behind. And the Falcon takes off, and the 2 boys are there, and they're like, we're going to help. We don't care about, we're pro-rebel on this.
We're super rebel.
Yeah, we're doing this, and we're going to show you what the fuck is going on in this town. So they go to the like cave or whatever, and the Imperials see them, and they're about to sweep the village and grab them and take them to Cultus. But before the rebels can even get inside, AT-ATs appear, and it's this they are like Godzilla-sized AT-ATs.
Cool as
Yeah.
this is sick, and it's like, this is one of those things that we've seen in the comics a lot, where they like take a new thing from the movies and like do something cool with it. And they were like all probe droid, so probe droid heavy after whatever. And I feel like this is them being like, all right, let's give the
Maybe they find
kids
AT-ATs.
love
Also, like,
the AT-ATs.
For me, I always assumed like X-Wings would ace AT-ATs, like,
I think
just
they do.
because, but in this, they're as hard to fight. So they have like, for some reason, I guess, snow speeders, we know were originally spaceships that were converted for snow,
Yeah.
and they're back here as part of the rebel thing because they're the ones that take it out. I just was like, oh, in my head, like, those are really good at taking out like entrenched positions, but like Starship should just be able to like smoke
They
them.
definitely have retconned a lot of the levels of shielding and that kind of stuff. Like when it comes to the AT-ATs, eventually they are really heavily, it's not even shields. They're just so heavily armored that laser fire can't hurt them.
Yeah. So the idea
That's eventually what it
the
becomes.
idea
but-
is that they're like coming to town to be shipped off, right? Is what the idea is, but it's like causing a big fuck in their plans.
Yeah.
So Leia and Lando are looking for a way to like stop them, and Flint and Barney think they're going to go warn the village, and so then Luke and crew are getting ready to tackle the AT-ATs, and they're like, we have more. There's like, we might win this because like though it's a similar situation to Hoth, like there's more of us and less of them now. One fighter takes down an AT-AT, and Flint and Barney are coming over to the town, and the cars with the boys in flips over because they're going so fast, and the boys just like pop out like they died in a car accident or some shit. And Luke shows up and like lands on top of a AT-AT cheekily and gets out, and then it like shoots another AT-AT, and it turns out that Leia and Lando actually like took over that AT-AT, and then Luke like gets in another one, and now they got 2 of the AT-ATs, and they got another guy coming down to like help them in the AT-AT, and they like take out the walkers, and it's a pretty good little sequence. And then Flint wakes up, and he finds out that Barney is dead, and his mom are dead, and his mom is dead. Barney and his mom are dead.
like the town it isn't like they saved it. Like everything is destroyed.
Just destroyed. Barney is like in a dark place, and some guy shows up and is like, come Barney. Barney.
I knew your dad.
Yeah, come with me. And so then he goes with that mysterious person. At the Falcon, it turns out Barney didn't die and decides to go along with them because it's like exactly like Luke. There's nothing left for him now, so he wants to go be a Jedi now and a rebel now. So he's just Luke 2. And Flint Flint apparently goes off with Vader.
Yeah, it was Vader who got him, and he's like, let me put on this stormtrooper. Honestly,
Barney was wait, who goes off?
Flint the guy who wants to be a rebel, goes with Vader.
Right.
And Barney, the guy who's
Barney's like, well, I guess it felt like a retcon to Flint where they're like, well, I guess he really had it in him all the time. He really just wanted to be something, and it wasn't that he was good or rebellious, so I guess here we are. It was like a very weird, like, I don't know, to me it felt like a very like weird
I don't think
switch from Barney.
The Flint like twist was very deserved, but I like the idea of setting up the two and then having them switch at the end. I was like, oh, that's fun.
See, it's like an annual.
Yeah, it's like cool. It's just maybe they could have planted a better seed for him.
Any seed,
because he seemed like very pro good. Like
pro rebel.
Sure, it's a cool twist, but like just have
it's more that he didn't care. It's like he wanted to be important more than he wanted to be.
Right.
Yeah.
But they also like he did a lot of good things.
Yeah, they made him seem like he wanted to be a rebel rather than I want to be important, which I think is the distinction. That he should have just been like, all I want to do, like Luke, he wanted to get off and like
go on
be
an adventure,
someone. Yeah.
Well, and he knew that like the rebellion, like he's wanted to join the rebellion. Also, his best friend is part of the rebellion too. So it's like, but
well, I'm sure that it's going to be, in any case, used only to tell a lesson to Luke in some way in the future because it's just so set up.
I don't know. I think Flint's
will we ever see Barney again?
It's so set up to be Luke, good Luke and bad Luke, and Luke goes, oh my gosh, look, it's two Lukes, just like what I could have been in both situations.
No way they're coming back.
I think they are. We'll see.
It'd be cool to. I don't know. He's like a Jedi, right? Like, or he's Force sensitive.
Why
have
would
no
he
clue.
recruit him?
I don't
Why
know.
would he recruit him just to become a fucking stormtrooper?
No clue.
That doesn't even make sense. Star Wars 79 is finally the big con, and we're in a smuggler's den on Arcant 4, and patrons are booing a picture of Han Solo, and they're talking shit on him.
No, a picture of Harrison Ford.
Oh, right.
Let's be
A
fair.
photograph
like
of-
They got a
literal photograph.
headshot that he like signed.
UK's,
It looks like
the
it.
UK's next portrait artist of the year drawing of
I thought
fucking
this was
Harrison
like
Ford.
what's that guy's name? Something Jack. What was the guy from the first comics? Captain.
Oh, Red Eye Jack or whatever that guy's name was.
Yeah.
Red Jack or whatever.
Like I thought for a second like this was this guy again because he has the same.
No, these guys hate him. Yeah.
There he talks about like there's the like reluctant appreciation for him or whatever. Like he's like man, he
Sure.
could have helped us, but he also has like a Jolie first lady type situation here too. So, but it wasn't.
You are right. He does have that kind of like. It is weird that it's
Pirate. It's an old pirate with like two pieces of tech on him.
Question: were they in love or were they brother and sister? Because they were both redheads who looked very similar.
Yeah,
I just didn't know, and I was like, "So wait, are they a couple or are they siblings?"
I don't know. It was like the Lannisters.
They're so not relevant that
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't
don't
really
think-
matter
You're-
either
yeah,
way.
you're right.
You get them for like one more scene after this. But they're like, yeah, Han Solo would have been useful to us right now, but fuck that guy. He's a creep. They're looking for this because the reason they wanted him was because they heard that he was good at getting relics, and they need to get this missing relic.
Is Lando already in a costume at this point?
I believe so.
No, he
the
shows
white-
up. This scene, he shows up.
He's not
With the
in
white hair and the.
Yeah, he's not here yet. Drebel's about to walk in. But
No, Drabble doesn't walk anywhere.
You're right.
He saunters. He glides.
he slides.
He
slides in off a shadow.
He manipulates the world such that it comes to him.
It's like when you see a 40-year-old guy put on his like 28-year-old like anime expo costume. Like,
Hell yes.
Dude,
all right. So they're looking for this thing called the Dancing
Oh my
Goddess. And the consort, which are two like icons, whatever you want to call them, like two little sculptures called the Dancing Goddess and the Consort, which is called the Minstrel, and it's like a big job, and they wish Han was there. But Chewbacca's on his way. He goes in. They're like, "What's the password?" And he's like, "Bah!" And they're like, "You know what? That's fine."
good.
Yeah. And so Chewie comes in. They see him, and they're like, "Wow, a fucking Wookiee." And then they slide in next to him in the booth, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Lemo and Sanda do, and
they do the thing like, what's his name? He's like, I don't know.
Like,
Like,
his name is Wookiee.
he's a
'cause the
Wookiee. What
only
do you
one
want?
here.
Like,
he goes by Wookiee.
reminds me of Weequay.
Yeah. Drebel shows up, and now it's like Dante, like Drebel, like he's got like He's got anime white
He
hair.
has anime white hair. It's like over his
looks like a
The
G.I. Joe
eye
guy.
where he
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
wears a fucking eye patch on.
Oh, it's great.
Dude, it really is.
He rolls a
anime
crit.
convention.
Yeah.
He rolls a crit.
Like Dante. Like some guy in his 40s trying to pull a
Straight
Dante.
up. He rolls a
I
crit.
love it.
He
Don't-
says
don't
he wants to
don't do it.
He gasses up Han again about locating artifacts as a way of like getting them to like help him get Han Solo and force him to help them, which is like kind of weird. The patrons are getting mad at these guys like talking like this to this guy and being know-it-alls, so they like this guy pulls a gun and then Lando just like throws a knife into his chest.
By the way, they don't actually explain what happened.
Lando just threw a knife into that man's chest. That's what happened.
My assumption was
They were like,
they
what?
had like I thought they were going to reveal a spotter or somebody else
no.
later watching
No,
him.
no, no.
But
Lando's
it was
just-
like he had anime speed.
Lando's just a knife guy. He says blasters make me nervous, and he threw a knife in that man's heart.
Which is sick. Except like it's not really Lando.
And then it's a pretty baller move. Like
It's Drebel. I get it. Like
Drebel's different than
dude,
Lando.
you
That's
put
how he
on-
does it. It's like Moon Knight.
You put on an outfit and you kind of like become a different person.
He's like, you know,
You're a
we're
method
fine.
actor. He's
Yeah.
he's invested.
So then Chewie's like, what the fuck was that? But then Lando's like, listen, pirates are like gullible. They're romantics. They believe this type of shit. They love Dante. They watch the Netflix show. They love that shit. And the Wookiee's like, what the fuck is Drebel? And he's like, it's an asshole that I know. And so whenever people are mad at me, I just tell them it's Drebel. And then one day, maybe they're going to kick Drebel's ass. It makes me laugh. And then
It is
very
like
Lando.
good.
It is hilarious, and I would love it if they keep this going at some point. What actual Drebel did gets current Lando in trouble for it.
So then they show up. And they're
good.
like, they're trying to like pump them for info now. So now they're all like, hey, they're gonna like kill him, but they're trying to like find out what they know first. And they all head off to a quote little out of the way bistro. And when they go to the bistro, they're served very spicy food, and the art.
The
on
art
this
is incredible.
unbelievable.
I'm
We
gonna,
talked
like-
about it briefly.
Yeah, for the discussion post or something.
Yeah.
I'll
It
It
probably
needs
use
to be on a T-shirt. It's just good.
It turns out to be Deltron spice wine, so it's like, so the food is like really hot, and they try to like cool it off, and they grab wine, and the wine is also spicy.
It's just a bit you've seen in a million things.
Lando-
Guy in the background.
Lando,
is just
however-
Except it's Chewie.
Yeah,
It's just Chewie's face reacting to hot food.
I think he eats like leaves mostly.
It's so
Chewie
funny.
loves like raw meat.
Yeah.
So like
He
got a
doesn't do
delicate
seasoning.
palate.
He doesn't do seasoning, but
It's-
Lando.
It's the same vibe as Chewie when he's being taken care of by that nurse.
Yes, wow, you did a big brave.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same vibe.
Yeah. Lando loves spice, and they're like, what a badass. Keep going, Lando. You're so cool for eating all this spicy shit. And they're like, hey, did you know that Han was taken by Boba Fett and that he's at Jabba's palace now? And Lando's like, what? Hey, Chewie, did you? And then they're like, Chewie? What? And they like all turn on
Oh,
him.
because he also like. I mean, it's fine. We knew they weren't gonna like connect. Like he drinks he just is like Drebs is a drinker in
Yeah.
this, and he like gets drunk enough that he
Dribble,
like,
dribble.
instead of
He drinks Ripple like Red Fox.
What if this is why? Oh no, it happens later in the Lando books. I was like, what if this is canon for why he doesn't drink anymore?
I doubt it because it looks like he's having a good time. Chewie slams his table around. He throws Lando over his shoulder, throws him into a hover car, and they're out of there. And then a Lady of the Night.
By the way, this isn't just one panel or two panels. It is a full-page dialogue this woman has with herself.
I didn't go back and check the notes because it's just exhausting. But do you remember this happened in the last thing? We like got a whole one of those pages where like it brings you in on one,
Just like a sex worker.
stormtrooper. It gives you a like small novel about them just to be like for one good bit.
I just couldn't believe that in this case it was just like a prostitute on the street.
She said the neighborhood's getting bad, so the
I'm
clients are.
sorry. Is it not the oldest profession?
She says that there's no more rich people in this neighborhood, and it's fucking up her money because the neighborhood's gone to shit.
It's just a crazy, like, out of the blue.
Yeah.
She like, yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
nice,
tell you
yeah.
about my life here,
Nice
living
little-
on the planet.
Nice little texture.
Like, okay, cool.
The rebels show up and they're looking for the spaceport. She tells them directions. They go on. The pirates go by,
She's like, hey,
and they're like,
dummies.
they're like, why are they going that way? What the hell? And so basically, what happened is she sent the rebels the wrong way. Lando takes the disguise off because he can't see because
but
he's fucking driving.
technically, that wrong way, she saved their lives.
That's that. You know what? You're right. He finds that she's led them onto the like oncoming traffic on a freeway, and everybody thinks they're gonna die, but then he's like, oh yeah, I can fly, and he just goes up instead and leaves the freeway, and nobody gets in an accident. But the pirates are stupid and don't know about 3D space, so they die on the freeway. And Lando's like, haha, I lost them. And then like some more show up, and Chewie's like, fuck this. So he just like jumps into traffic and like starts, I don't know, killing people, while Lando goes on forward, and he's like, I will like come find me at the spot later. I'll see you there. I gotta go. Lemo shows up, and he's like following him in the hover car. Lando tries to get away. He's on the same trajectory as Chewbacca, and they like bluey together. They like blow up together. And then the last pirate finds them after they crash. He spots the fucking minstrel statue, because Lando was like, I forgot to mention this earlier. Lando's like, well, I got some stuff I want to sell as a backup plan if everything else goes to shit, so I'm going to bring that with me too. So he has it. And it turns out the whole time he's been carrying along with him the second statue, the minstrel statue.
I'm just glad that when they had to make the like emergency escape from Bespin, that he had time to grab those two things.
That's my Lando.
And bring it with him.
He knows what's important, and that's money. And so that's that. Lando and Chewie get away. Now we're into Ellie, which is where we learn about the real droid that doesn't make sense with the other droid.
First panel,
amazing.
First panel, best Luke I've ever seen.
Yeah, amazing.
What was the first panel? This is like, this has me so excited for the tone of
we're getting
things
to the end.
come.
Yeah,
We're getting to the end. There's only one more.
The first panel, it's not just like Luke plus Poncho. It's like warrior monk. What I imagined as a kid Jedi probably looked like, instead of the robe that you see with Obi-Wan that then became like canonically what all Jedi wore. It looks like a badass warrior monk outfit. And I was like, this is the coolest Luke has ever looked. Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah, this is his. It's actually
it's page 184.
It's his fucking
collection.
Endor mission.
Yeah, it's
Like poncho minus they took out the camo on it.
Yeah,
it looks awesome.
it's like
This issue
two-tone,
they
yeah.
also have him having his sexy half flat backed just the whatever.
They get him to like ready for Return
Slowly
of the Jedi.
becoming Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
This like post Jedi Luke, like Jedi Master Luke or whatever you want to call him, like this tickles my childhood. Like I will love this version of Luke.
I'm surprised.
Forever. Always. Like the like decisive
The temple guy.
I know that you can't just be unbeatable because that doesn't really make for great storytelling, but when it comes to like Luke, I like him being the guy that's like, I'm gonna go just take care of this whole
You got to
army.
read
I'll
the
be back.
scene.
Like,
you got to read the scene.
I'm gonna eat so good. I know, like in the future, but this being like now they were having him do more Force stuff because of Empire anyways. And this issue, he's like, he doesn't speak like a kid anymore. Like he is an adult starting now.
Right.
It's interesting how little of that we've gotten so far, because we're not even past the third movie. But like, yeah, that's like the guy who runs the Jedi Academy is the one that I think of the most when I think of expanded universe Luke, and we haven't even seen sign of him until now, which is, I didn't think about that he kind of shows up. He's going to have to show up before Heir to the Empire.
Yeah.
We're
He
gonna
shows
read-
up in the novelization for Jedi, like the way they explain it.
I'm just interested to see him do something besides deal with Return of the Jedi. I just that's interesting
right.
to me. But yeah, I mean, we're getting there. Like shit is coming together in a way that I didn't really expect. So Rebels it's Luke, Leia, and 3PO. They're on a world that is like a sort of like outpost for like a supply line for the Empire. That's like people like stop there and like change cargo and stuff like that. It's like a hub, and they're looking for Vanis still. Vanis is again holding the tapes with the new Death Star plans on them, the Bothan tapes as they start to call them here, but they can't find them. And they can't find Vanis's ship. So as a plan B, they try to meet with the manifest officer, who is LE-914, which is a droid called Ellie. She's an inventory droid.
Looks like the Metropolis robot.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. She's like silver. She's like, if there was like a femme C-3PO, that's basically what she looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're boning up on your Fritz Lang movies.
Yes.
Yes.
She like your old black and
Yeah,
whites.
yeah. The movies from literally 100 years ago.
Which is like what C-3PO is supposed to be anyways, right?
But that's kind of cute, right? So
It rhymes.
they're weirded out by this because an inventory robot is usually a job for a human, which is funny because to me that feels like exactly the job a robot would do, but that's just me. But they ask about Vanis, and she's She puts it into the system. It triggers an alarm that she didn't know about. Luke fights some guys, blows the head off of one of them, or like slices his head off or something like that. And then,
dude, this is the first time we see him. He just like cleaves, it takes the guy's arm off.
The red background on those panels is so beautiful.
Really good, yeah.
There's a lot of really fucking cool.
Yeah,
art in this
that's what I was talking about earlier. Is that slice right there? It triggers an alarm. Ellie gets hit with a gun. You find out that like she's pretty
sturdy.
Yeah, hardy little robot.
I think she protects C3PO.
Yeah,
It like blows away the console in front of her, right? But she's like
fine. Yeah, the rebels go back to their ship in the rain, and they convinced Ellie to come with them, and they enter Tay's name, and she's like, actually, I do know where he is because I did it did come up before the alarm went off. He's in the castle that was like the Congress building before the Empire came and quote unquote depopulated the world. And then the rebels take off, and Ellie tells them that when Vanus disappeared, Vader was there. And they're like, oh shit, Vader. And as they're flying, they look down and they see a crashed X-Wing on the way to where they're going. So they stop and they go check it out because Vanus supposedly had like a modded X-Wing. And then on there, they find a hologram from him explaining that when they found the Bothan tapes, Yam and Vanus, they realized that they were being chased. So they headed off, and Argo went to get help, and they already know he's dead. And Vanus was like, I'm just going to like keep losing myself again and again so nobody can find me. But he doesn't have the tapes anymore. He's like, I left them with my droid, Ellie. And they're like, what? And then supposedly he also set them to self-destruct 2 days after Vanus gets there because he was expecting help to get there. And when they turn to ask Ellie for the tapes or if she still has them, she's gone. And 3PO's hyped that Ellie turned out to be a good guy. But Leia's like, but if she's a good guy, like, where the fuck did she go? Like, what the fuck is going on? So then they go to the castle, and the Imperial Guards are talking about, like, some genocidal shit. And
Dude,
then,
this is like,
yeah,
they were, I mean, everybody gets their comeuppance in the end, but like, yeah, they were like talking, like bragging about the decimation because they were like, all we did was like kill a bunch of them, and then the rest just like came at us. So we like, we just killed them all.
It's crazy. Luke comes around the corner. He says, I'm going to kill you if you don't tell me where Tay Vanus is. And the guard's like, dude, come with me. And they take him to like a room because I think it's supposed to be like a trap or something. But inside the room, it's not like Vader. It's just like a hologram of Vader, which is like a weird thing to be a trap. And he's like, hello. Look, I captured him a long time ago and told no one except for the people who work in this building. So even the Empire didn't know. It was all part of my plan to smoke you out, you dumb motherfuckers. And these stupid generals, I knew they were going to do this, and I hate them, but you need them for this type of thing. So fuck you. And by the way, here's a present for you. Goodbye. And it turns out that there's like a just completely broken, brainwashed, and mentally destroyed, like post-Bor Gullet Tay Vanus laying here in the room.
Just like withered.
It's fucked. He's like, he looks like a Dark Souls guy. He's just
it's like a disturbing like image.
Vader goes particularly hard. It's a particularly cruel Vader moment. Luke is like, maybe we can save him, and Ellie's like, that's not what's gonna be good for him. And she's like, if we take him with us, he's not gonna be. We won't be able to get out of here because he's gonna be so hard to move. So she gives the tapes to C-3PO. She's like, I trust you with these. I believed in Vanus's hope that somebody was coming, so I didn't destroy the tapes. And there's this crazy scene where they like leave her hugging Vanus.
It's a good shot.
Yeah, and then they walk out, and they're all standing.
Dude, it's like them all like
they're all looking at it
at the wall.
And then you
one
see her,
is like a flat.
You see the one. I think that it's implying that she's killing him, and it's like a blast of light that like fills up the whole hallway for one panel. But
it's like a self-destruct. Yeah.
And so they leave, and then the castle blows up with Ellie and Vanus in it, and 3PO is like, I know I'm not really crying because I'm a robot, but I would be crying, and there's tears on my face right now, so that's how you know that I feel emotions right now. And so that's the Ellie story, and it was fucking tight.
Dude, we get like the Luke that likes to kill in this because he's like, come on, we gotta go to the generator. He's like, they deserve some kind of monument, and the next shot is the entire base exploding.
I can't wait for you to read the scene where Luke shows up to rescue Jason in the new Jedi Order.
It's just like
It's gonna blow
again. It's just it hits that like
It's gonna blow you away.
I love movies like Taken or like when a person is like bad stuff happens. Now the movie is just them, man on fire.
Yeah.
Where you're like, all
You just
right,
get like a 45-minute
let's
third
see how
act.
many people get fucking grenades in their asshole before this movie is over. Like you just go on a thing and Luke, what he's like, actually because then there was like, no Admiral Akbar, there are no survivors.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye.
It's like, okay.
So
Can I talk to Leia? Is he okay? I can't see him, but he's got that 30-yard stare in his voice.
Something's wrong there.
So this is where the ongoing story stops for this portion of this part 1 episode that we're doing right now, and we go into the first half of Return of the Jedi. I don't think we need to go like scene by scene on this,
But again,
yeah.
pink Death Star, best Death Star.
I do want to talk a little bit about the differences and changes and the ways that it's different, but I just want to say that for this first half, we go from the Jabba's sequence at the beginning all the way to the Yoda sequence where he goes back to Dagobah. But there's like a significant amount of like little editorial changes that I know happen because the pacing of this is so quick. It's like
Return to Dagobah is fast.
The
The
way-
Jabba scenes are fast.
yeah,
It's
it's
interesting
quick.
though that halfway, like most of the first half of this entire retelling of the thing, and we haven't read the second half, is like the Jabba stuff, and then
There's
like,
not that much movie in Return of the Jedi. It's all like sequences.
Yeah.
And they just speed through all the action in the comic.
But they do give you it's interesting because if you look at what is separated here, like each section, Vader arriving at the Death Star for what is basically the 5-minute intro to the movie is like 3 pages in this.
Yeah.
And then that whole Jabba scene is really condensed from Luke being like, take this droid, to Luke showing up, to saving Han, to the fight on the like that is
it's quick.
so fast.
They do it. You miss things. You don't even remember like that they don't do things. Like they skip over entire plot points.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. But
Vader, they stay on Vader.
well, I'll say
it's
this.
the really interesting thing also that like when you read it at different paces and different mediums, you think differently. Like the Jared scene where he's like, the Emperor's coming here.
really operational.
It's like hilarious as an. I don't know why. This is the first time I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, of course. Have you ever like made a house for somebody? They come and check out your progress.
He's the
all
Emperor.
the time.
This is his plan.
This becomes his home. Like this is like his. It's just the idea. That he's like, wait, he's gonna come here. You're like,
I think he just
what?
was surprised it was so
that
early.
you don't know that he's coming is like weird.
I think it's just a surprise. He's coming
'Cause it
earlier
wasn't
than
done.
earlier
Yeah.
than expected. I think. But the point is, the art in this is amazing.
It's so
We were
good.
talking earlier about the Marvel style, about how panels are written and constructed, and then the dialogue is there. I feel like they just like did like a reverse storyboard of the movie. They left out a few things in the art, and so they schmoozed over it. Like for example, like Jabba just speaks English in this mostly for the most part, which is like
I
interesting.
think it says like translated from Huttese
It is-
one time,
It is, but it's like
or he speaks English to 3PO, right?
like 3PO is his interpreter, right? But in a comic that's stupid. So they just do it. They just do it straightforward. They add it. It feels like compared to the book and compared to the movie versions of this, it feels like they did like a rewrite of the dialogue for like a TV edit because some of the lines are like better. Like some of the lines are like when he's like, "Who is that? I don't see it." She's like, "Someone who loves you, hot shot." There's
That's better.
There's a little the Lando Han,
him and Han
Sarlacc.
talking about like, I grew up here. Like they fixed that because I think that's supposed to be like buddy banter in the movie, but it doesn't
doesn't
really
come- it
work that
sounds
well.
sad, yeah.
And he's like, no, you're not missing much. Trust me, I grew up here. Like it's
Yeah.
a funnier line.
Yeah.
It's a better read.
Yeah, exactly. They do some good like just tightening up of the dialogue, but other things are lost. Like the Rancor scene is very fast, or Obi-Wan Kenobi is like not present in Yoda's house. Like they just split up the two conversations.
You don't feel the gravity of Luke that as much, or maybe because I'm just still hype off the book, but like he kind of like comes in and there's sort of like, there's a cool line about how like none of the defenses could slow him at all. Like they had like some cool thing to be like, oh, here's his presence. But I feel like some of that stuff gets sped up a little bit so you don't get the same level of like gravity of him being there. Everybody react. I guess like, yeah, not having reaction shots, that kind of stuff like doesn't.
Don't Luke and Yoda and Obi-Wan talk to each other a little
Am I
bit
crazy
together?
or does Yoda, do you see him die in it? Like,
No, he doesn't.
No,
yeah.
the last frame is literally like Yoda and Obi-Wan buddy shot.
Yeah.
They're like, that's our boy.
I just feel like that whole sequence went down like slightly different. Like it basically hit the same beats and it's still the same purpose, but it felt like it went down in a little bit different order and configuration.
Isn't it in the movie?
so it's based off the screenplay.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like there's extended conversations in the book versus the stuff. And if this is based off of the screenplay and not the book, then in the screenplay they had these extended sequences talking about Anakin and his fall, Obi-Wan's like guilt over that.
We
like,
do lose Luke building his lightsaber. We do lose other things that were shot.
That's true. I'm just saying, like, it's interesting because, sometimes you're like, how much of this is the book versus the movie? And it's like, oh, well, the stuff that's in this makes me believe that they actually had those longer scenes.
Is there, in the movie, he returns to Yoda. Yoda is ill. Yoda dies. Obi-Wan shows up, right?
Yes.
In this, it's like Yoda and Obi-Wan are buddy-buddy. And
He's talking to Yoda,
Because
and then he's talking to Obi-Wan.
But isn't he in the kitchen with Yoda and Obi-Wan and talking about that in the first place
I
together?
don't think it's in the original movie.
In the movie, he just talks to Yoda as he's like falling
Yoda's
asleep and dying.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it's
And
quick with
then,
Yoda. Yeah.
and then as he's out there,
he bros out.
he Yoda.
Obi-Wan shows up and is like, let me help you.
And then here, I'm like, I think he had whatever he needed to say to him, and then when he's out,
He says, like, for example, Obi-Wan is the one who says there is another in this and not Yoda.
because, I think it's like, they still have the thing about, like, I can't do it, and he's like, well, that's too bad.
bad, you
And then it's
fucked-
like him
yeah.
jumping out to outside.
And
yeah.
Yoda also makes it very clear that he thinks that Luke wouldn't have had trouble with Vader if he just waited.
Which is, I think, how they talk about it also in
It's the same- it's the
book
same-
thing. The idea of like, I didn't lie to you. You like, I was going to tell you, but it's because giving you that would like fuck you. Like, and he's actually like not wrong. This I think actually is almost maybe a better version of that than even the book, where it's like you grew up like fantasizing about your father.
Yeah.
And this is like space Hitler Captain America. Like,
Like,
you,
how
you
could
have
I-
to go kill that guy, but you grew up dreaming of your father.
Yeah,
I couldn't burden you,
You should have let
with
me.
this.
You should have let me tell it to you in my own pace. Like,
Yeah,
it wasn't like I wasn't going to tell you.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's no. I do like the like. I don't feel guilt about telling you. Like and he's like, if I made a mistake, it wasn't the first time I've made a mistake. Like,
Yeah.
there's a self-assuredness that makes it less like tricky and just being like, no, this is all considered. There's no easy solution, and I like thought it was a mercy to you because now you have to go do this and look at you like you're fucked.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm trying to think. The Rancor fight was really quick. Boba Fett has
They
lines.
did- they-
Boba Fett has lines which actually I think like make what happens to him less silly. Just by
It's the same thing in the book. Well,
He
also the
doesn't say
Rancor,
sh-
they give a different in the book. They talk about it being a mutant. In this, Luke's like, I thought it was like the Baba Yaga. It's like I thought this was just a fucking fairy tale that they tell us to not like go out.
like a crate dragon. Yeah.
So now it sounds like it doesn't really matter. It's just a cool difference.
Yeah, I don't think anybody like cared. I don't think they went that deep. But like, I think okay, like Luke, Boba Fett tries to shoot Luke, and somebody, I think it's Han, knocks the gun out of the way, and Boba Fett turns to him and says, "I'm gonna deal with you next, motherfucker. You fucking interfering motherfucker."
This happens in the movie too, or in the book. He swings and he just like without looking up, like catches the thing, and he's like, just 1 sec, I'm gonna kill you, and then he swings the other way and hits him.
It just it played out so visually the same, but just by giving him that moment to check in with us on the like he's like stepping slightly more forward in the scene here. In the book, it kind of just everything felt a little bit more
For me,
established.
because I was looking for it, I literally think how you feel about this is how I feel about that too. Where like they also do a better job because they write it specifically in here. It's like everybody in Jabba's palace, like when she does the thermal detonator, like is whatever, but except for Boba Fett. Like they like draw specific attention to him being the man of action.
Yeah.
And I like it sucks because he just gets there's just no way about it. He gets it's done dirty. But I do this little bit just goes further to show like he's not like he got done dirty. He's a like capable person. He's not just like a faker.
Also, does Leia choke out Jabba
Yeah.
in this comic
She
book?
chokes him out and they turn it into like, but then somebody finds her and she's like, oh. And then we cut back later and she's like, thanks, R2.
Oh, yeah, we just get-
I'm
it's like-
glad that you were the one that came into this room.
It's like one panel. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is. It's there. It happens. It just happens real quick. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. One thing that's really cool about the Return of the Jedi comic version that is not in the movie in any way is at the end, for like 5 more pages, you get like dope,
Pinup.
like 4 or 5 pinups. And they are so sick. The one of Salacious Crumb I would put in my goddamn house.
It's like too good.
It's like a close-up of Salacious Crumb, too, which is great.
I'm so stupid. Like, I never thought about how iPads are like probably like phones where you can just take screenshots.
Yeah, you can.
And
The Royal Guard one is sick.
now I like for this I started taking like full iPad resolution screenshots so that I can just have it as cool shit. But they did this similarly with the Empire. If I had to pick, I would say that the Empire one was a little bit cooler because they got like
It was a little bit more
famous
stylish.
artists
Yeah, it was
to
more
do
stylish.
their own take on something.
I mean, that's still what's going on here. These are just more similar artists.
But
Yeah.
it's like, and these are like character ones. So some of them are like, you got like Max Rebo and what, like,
the Obi-Wan one is sick.
yeah.
That one is by like a very different artist. It's pretty cool.
Oh, do they do it all in
In every issue.
the? Okay, yeah.
My favorite thing though that I read so far that I want to frame in my house is this ad that's at the end of the second issue that is like, it's a play on one of their original posters, but it's like, you mean you don't read Star Wars? And it's like, it's this action pose, but it looks like they all like stopped in their
like,
tracks.
"What?"
They're like, huh? And Chewbacca's like, "Rah!" And it's just-
His expressions are like the king of this.
Han Solo says, I've got a bad feeling about this because you don't read Star Wars. It just makes me laugh.
That's great. I need to. The one downside to reading it on like issues on Marvel Unlimited is that if there are those cool extra bits, they're not in there. So I may borrow that from you and read them because those were really fascinating.
Oh man, it's like you can say what you will about how much money you're saving because you just are saving so much money streaming the comics, but just for the love of comic books, it rules that there's still a reason to go grab the Epic Collection. And honestly, I can't tell you how good it feels to like fucking like have this tangible. Like old comics look really cool in physical form because they're printed in a much nicer way than they normally are, but they're so totally meant to be printed on a paper that they just kind of come alive in a way that's really interesting. That's it. I think, does anybody have anything else they want to say about the content or anything like that?
I mean, it's just Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
Also, there's a page out of order in the second issue
of Return of the Jedi?
It in the Marvel comics, like the second page of the second issue jumps ahead, and it's like Luke doing like jumping off of the thing.
In the digital, you mean?
Yeah, and then the next page it starts back to where the story was, and then when you get to there in the actual pages, it's missing the page that you read earlier.
Really?
It was just weird to have a like misprint in a digital
Digital
version.
form? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because it's like PDF files in order.
I like
yeah.
maybe I need to like there's a like
report.
send a report and just be like, hey, this
I bet
is
you
just
if you did, it would happen pretty fast.
okay. Yeah, I've never seen that before.
I also, just before we go, I want to shout out these. I think I said it briefly. If you go to the first page of every issue of the Return of the Jedi comic, there's like this beautiful, like sort of square image, like a 4-3.
Dude, the Force pike.
This one is like the Force pike. The first one is like the
Lightsaber.
first time Luke turns on his lightsaber.
Yeah.
Kind of harkening
cool.
back to that scene of him building it in the cave. It's really fucking cool, really cinematic, and like I didn't really think twice about the adaptations of movies in comic book form until I went on this other podcast as a guest, and we did the novelization or the comic book adaptation of The Last Jedi, and that it actually like fixed some elements that I think a lot of people had problems with, like who were like kind of like hating on that movie because of like fandom reasons. And it did it very cleanly, and it mostly again came, I think, just from the notion of having to condense a sort of plot with a lot of moving parts into like a cleaner,
I mean, those comics also are like, hey, this is what the Knights of Ren are. They're a real thing. We're going to explain that, which the movies had done that.
Right. I know, but I just, like, even that aside, I just mean, like, something about Star Wars, the story, I feel like comes across really well in comic book form. And if you love the feeling of watching the old Star Wars movies on VHS, or like what you remember when you saw it in theaters in the 80s or whatever, like, pick up those official movie adaptations. Pick up the Return of the Jedi comic and just look at that art. And we're about to get into the era of really good cover paintings on our books and shit too, which I feel like we gotta like, there's gotta be some way that we can like, we gotta come up with some sort of like rubric or something to talk about cover art soon, because we're about to get like a beautiful full color, like wall size painting every time we read a book.
I love, still to this day, like going through and just looking at them, you're like, fuck.
I was at SoCal Gaming Expo one year when it was in like, I think Ontario, California, and they had, I would say, 35 of them, the paintings, in like a little museum display.
That's so...
It was, there was this one that I remembered that I loved that was with Mara Jade and Luke. It was in a trilogy of books from the New Jedi Order where it was like a largely like turquoise painting, but because Mara Jade's a redhead,
it like popped so nicely.
you gotta, yeah. If there, I wish there was like a big coffee table book of those paintings. That would be such a good idea.
What's so funny is you're like, yeah, I went to this convention, I saw some amazing Star Wars art. The last convention I went to, I saw art that featured Princess Leia in booty shorts with like two stormtroopers standing above.
You were in Artist Alley. Yeah. Oh, you were in Artist Alley.
Yeah.
That's
I just think that's so funny is the difference in like, yeah, you know, this beautiful art and then like booty short Leia.
Yeah. Hey, booty short Leia, there's nothing wrong with that either. But
the like, it's probably, if you don't read comics and maybe you go back and you look at these, not like the comic adaptations of the films, maybe they'll just look old school to you and not be impressive. But because we are like, we've been immersed in, how many years are we? Like 5 years of comics. Like, we've now read a ton and seen a ton of what the style of that was like in both like newspapers and regular. Mm-hmm. So I feel like almost as best as we can in the modern age, we have the proper context to appreciate how blockbuster the Empire and Jedi feel, because they like, all right, new like team, you guys are like, you have more time, you have the stuff. It like really feels
100%.
It feels like when you see Power Rangers the movie the first time and they got those hockey pad suits or wherever. It's cool.
Power Rangers?
You're like, go watch Power Rangers the movie and you're like, oh, they have like different outfits.
The
they
one
have,
with
like,
Bryan
more armor.
Cranston. The one with
the
Bryan
original
Cranston?
one. Never
I'm
mind.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
you're talking about that retro film.
Oh my god. You're right. It only works if you were like there when it all happened.
If you're almost
you
40 years old. If you're almost 40 today.
Lord Zed, and you still have your reflector that's sponsored by 7-Up.
7-Up. All right.
What if you still have things dedicated to Ivan Ooze?
Hey,
Like a cup.
do you guys know
It's an
that? Do you
Ivan Ooze
guys know that Ivan Ooze is Belloc? Did we talk about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Shit. Well, crap. What was the point I was going to make? Keep going.
I'm sorry. You were talking about Power Rangers
That
and their
Vulcan
hockey.
Skull saved the city.
You were talking about Power Rangers and their hockey stuff, and
No,
how
just
it felt
like
to see that.
Just like it's like it's cool. Side tangent. The only thing I didn't really like about this Return of the Jedi is, well, they truncate like the barge fight, and they like change it so like Luke gets shot and drops his lightsaber, and then like they just kind of like flash forward to the end. But instead of drawing the Weequay and the aliens accurate to the movie, they're the like 70s space pirate villains again. I was like,
Yes.
but they have like in the pinup section the most like photo
real.
accurate of like all the characters.
Yeah.
It's like, it's weird.
Well, I think one is like a guy doing his life's like job, jamming through some background characters, and then one is like, oh, you want me to draw a portrait of this one character from this one production photo? Sure.
We're pretty like, I feel like every time we get to like a movie in the comics or something, we're like, all right, this is when something else is going to change, and it's a little bit premature because all we've read is Ellie, but it feels like, the first one is a space fantasy adventure. By the third one, it's like there's somberness, there's like death, there's introspection, and Ellie.
We've had it before.
Like,
We've been there before. The Ord Mantell one was really good.
Yeah. But like, I'm like, I hope more of the comics going forward have the Ellie. They don't have to be like super bummers.
Yeah.
But like just all of it's less wacky. It's like more, I don't know.
Well, you say going forward, but actually, we're in for a little pause on the comics coming up. So this is part 1 of part 2, right? We're part 1 of 2 parts. I mean, where we're going to do volume 5 because obviously these take a really bit of chunk of time. So we're going to do the second half of this.
Especially with Shantus of the story.
Yeah. Then we're going to do a Q&A, which is going to be nice and light. And then you better bust out some popcorn because it's time for the Caravan of Courage and Ewoks Battle for Endor, 2 excellent television movies by some standards.
Excellent.
By some standards.
Television.
It has been said by
Movies.
somebody
Yeah.
that they're okay.
I think those are going to be great.
I
Because
think Brink really sets the standard for television movies.
I think those are going to be great because they're both going to be watch-alongs also. So, like, you guys will kind of find out with us how right I am about these being pretty decent. Because I don't remember. I'm basing this off my childhood opinions.
and I stand by every opinion I held as a child.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Every last one. And then
Let me see that list of opinions I had again.
And then it's
Uh-oh.
And then it's Inside the Insider collection number 3. Because a lot of the people who aren't on Patreon yet, patreon.com/SWOCBC, aren't getting the Inside the Insider episodes that we upload every time we put out an episode where we
Get ready for Indiana Jones.
This is not like a shilly sales pitch. Legitimately,
It's like
Insider.
it's a
Inside
meaty-
the Insider for me as one of the hosts is as enjoyable as Star Wars. Like I did not. You don't know what you don't know.
Pretty
and,
interesting,
Like
yeah.
it's like very cool. I am a fan of film and stuff, so like whatever. But like I'm learning so much, and it's like truly fascinating and adds context that like makes my understanding of this better than I.
We're getting pretty close to monthly issues also. Like there's like less than 10 of the like whatever it is, not the Bantha Tracks, but the Lucasfilm Fan Club magazine or whatever.
Yeah.
It like changes its name at like number 17 or something like that. I can't remember which. But once we get there, like we're in a magazine now. It's going to be very different. So I'm interested to see that. We're well on our way to that in the collections. We're up to issue 9 in the collections.
When's our next video game?
Not for a while, but after the Inside the Insider, we get some droids. The TV show.
Now that I'm not looking for. Droids sucks. I do not like droids.
I think
It is.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's gonna
not
be
a fan of Automata.
They don't.
I got a
belong
bar for
here.
you, my friend.
I think it's gonna be. I think
I
it's
don't
gonna
want
be.
We
them
shouldn't
in my
serve
office.
their kind.
We're doing nothing. Once we finish this
Oh,
comic
you don't have
book,
power outlet? Okay.
once we finish this comic book, it's like nothing but droids and Ewoks for a while. But sneaking in there, in between the droids TV show and the Ewoks TV show, is going to be one more set of comic books, and then we get the Ewoks TV show, and then we get the Insider Collection 4, and then we get another Q&A, and then we get the Droid and Ewoks comics as one last.
This is my dark time. This is. I'm entering the dark times for me.
But then guess what?
The best part is for most of this, we're just sitting together holding hands, laughing.
And then we come up over the cliff.
But then guess
over
what?
the horizon.
When season 1 ends
There it
with episode
is.
50, episode 1 of season 2 of SWOCBC is going to be Heir to the Empire by Timothy Zahn.
So I've never been more excited to do something I love so much.
And then
It's like a thing that I know that I love, that
Yes.
is great,
I just wanna talk about
and
it.
I like.
and
am
then
excited
it's-
to re-remember.
And then it's like video games right away, and then it's like fucking Dark Empire. Like it's like
Dark Empire.
it's like bangers.
Rocks,
It's like
yeah.
bangers for days once we get through. And I don't even think the Ewoks and the droids are going to be bad. I think we're going to have a good time.
We'll laugh the entire time.
I
but
think
it's
we're gonna have a
not.
good
I don't
time.
think it's good Star Wars.
Paul Dini
doesn't save anything.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I'm curious.
Paul Dini. Paul Dini.
B Diddy,
No. Paul Dini. How dare you?
you were stretching it out. It started to sound like that.
Don't corrupt my language.
Sorry.
Guys, what did I say? The Rizzler is here. What did I say at the beginning of this
You
episode?
said Ichuta, Rizzler.
Keep your Rizzlers close.
What?
Keep your Rizzlers close.
You know that the other Warp Zone guys played Mario Kart with the Rizzler at Comic-Con. So
you're one Kevin and Bacon
basically
away.
a
one
Rizzler.
Kevin away from
Yeah.
the Rizzler.
Oh my God! Get us the fuck out of here. Thank you for listening to SWOCBC. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Fun fact, I learned about the Rizzler at around Comic-Con because
Thank you
of
so much
that thing I just told
for
you.
listening, guys. We have to get out of here suddenly. We'll see you guys later.
I like the Rizzler.
Oh man, we have to head out.
The Star Wars Old Canon Book Club is made possible by contributions from our listeners at patreon.com/SWOCBC. Thank you for your support. This month's Patreon Masters of the Force are Ian Berenade, Trevor Isom, Patrick Rowland, Amy Wakai, Jazz Owl, Peacetime Mando, and Metroid Mike. Thanks for listening. We'll be back soon with a discussion about our next selection, Caravan of Courage, an Ewok adventure, a TV special from director John Corti. This episode was edited by Alex Del Campo and Alex Fasciani. The theme song is Venus, the Bringer of Peace by Gustav Holst, performed by the U.S. Air Force Heritage of America Band. Original show art by Jackie Whistler. See you next time.